something to tell you. I'm an AI.
Hello everyone, ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. Welcome to UDAAN Deepak YouTube channel and I am Deepak from UDAAN Deepak Academy, Keshapura, Hubballi. So let us now begin with the discussion of the second part of my discussion. This is in first part I have completed all the physics questions, okay? So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರು ನೋಡಕತ್ತೀರಿ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. I hope my voice is audible everyone. Yes, let me know in the comment section if my voice is audible. Yes, so yes, thank you so much. Yes, okay, thank you so much for your response. And yeah, I can see many students are online taking the advantage of the live classes. So fast agi entire biology, like yesterday I have completed full physics, all the 4 chapters from physics. The first chapter electricity, second is magnetic effect of electric current, then light, then human and colorful world we have completed, and I hope everyone have done it exceedingly well. Now not wasting much time, we will be beginning with what? We will be beginning with all set of the questions now. So first ಎಲ್ಲ ತಿಳ್ಕೊರಿ and later I will be coming with all 1 mark, 2 mark, 3 mark, 4 mark questions which are short in examination we will do. Here also I will be marking you up the important questions, okay? So fast ಆಗಿ ಪೆನ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ಬುಕ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ಏನೈತಿ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಬರೀಲೇಬೇಕು, okay? So let us now begin with what discussion of the most important yes, so ಫಾಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ, ಪೆನ್ ತಗೋರಿ, ಬುಕ್ ತಗೋರಿ, ನನ್ನ ಜೊತೆ ಏನೈತಿ ಎಲ್ಲಾರು ಬರ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. Yes, see from the live process total you will get 25 mark, that is plus 3 mark from our environment, so total biology carries 28 mark. So ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೋರಿ ಬಯೋಲಜಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಟೋಟಲ್ 28 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ತೈತಿ. And in this 25 marks from first 4 chapter, 3 marks from our environment MCQ. Yes, then matin bartiti you will get 1 mark 1 MCQ, 1 mark 1 question you will get, and 2 mark 1 question and 4 mark 1 question, 2 mark 1 question and 4 mark 1 question bandhiditi. This is how your question paper is designed. So from total live process you will get what? 1 2 3 4 questions you will get, and highest is 8 marks. So Narapidkori, this is how the blueprint has been decided when it comes to examination point of view, okay? I hope my voice is audible everyone. If not, let me know in the comment section. So ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಕೇಳಾಕತ್ತೈತಿ. So yes, hello, yes, ನನಗೆ I hope yes ಬೇಗ explain ಮಾಡಿ. Thank you Divya, and I'm giving hello Nikhil, nice to see you online here. So total 8 marks and 4 questions you can expect from this. And lately if hard comes 4 markiಗೆ hard ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡ್ತೈತಿ, and if brain comes alla 4 markiಗೆ question ಬರ್ತೈತಿ. So we will see that what all you will get. So all the questions I will be letting you know in detail now. So 1 MCQ, 1 mark 1 question, 2 mark 1 question, 4 mark 1 question from live process. So total 4 questions and 8 marks. So ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ nephron 2 markiಗೆ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, nephron diagram ಬಹಳ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಐತಿ, nephron diagram. And for 1 mark you will get what? The diagram of the stomata. Just remember stomata diagram you will be getting up here. So whatever questions I have mentioned, so ellaru you ella practice ಮಾಡಲೇಬೇಕು, and this set of questions are fix. Okay, so yes, 5 mark question, this chapter will not be getting there. 5 mark question will get from the reproduction only. So reproduction in the direct 5 mark question barditi, either in the 4 mark question you will get hard question, if not you will get what sub questions A B C ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಏನಾಯ್ತಲ್ಲಿ ಸಬ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಬಂದು ಬಿಡ್ತಾವು. ಓಕೆ ಸರ್, ಸ್ಲೋಲಿ ಸ್ಟಕ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಏನ್ರಿ ಇದು ಸ್ಲೋಲಿ ಸ್ಟಕ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಕತ್ತೀರಿ? ಸೊ ಇಫ್ ಲೆಟ್ ಮಿ ನೋ ವೆದರ್ ಮೈ ವಾಯ್ಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆರ್ ನೋ. ಹೌ ಡು ಆರ್ಗನಿಸಮ್ಸ್ ರಿಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್? ಎಸ್, ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಲೆಟಿಂಗ್ ಯು ನೋ ಟುಡೇ ಒನ್ಲಿ ಡಿಯರ್. 5 ಮಾರ್ಕಿಗೆ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಬರಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಡಿಯರ್. ಇನ್ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ 3 mark and 4 mark and 5 mark question get sub questions A B C ಅಂತೇಳಿ sub questions ಬರ್ತಾವು. Okay, so keeping that in mind only you should able and capable to study. Yes, so I will be getting to the summary of this chapter. Like yesterday how I have completed the physics, today I will be explaining all the biology part, and next subsequently I will be solving all 1, 2 and 3 mark question. Thank you Amruta, you said it is clear. Thank you. Application based question, Divya, I will be doing it here. Good afternoon. Yes, now we will be starting with the first topic in life process is nutrition. Nutrition in the one question fix bandbidteti. In every model question paper you find nutrition ಇಂದನ question ಬಂದಿದಾವೆ. ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ತಪ್ಪದೆ ಏನಾಯ್ತಲ್ಲಿ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಿಷನ್ ನ ಓದ್ಲೇಬೇಕು. ವಿತೌಟ್ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಿಷನ್ ಯು ಕೆನಾಟ್ ಸ್ಕೋರ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಪೇಪರ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಬಿಟ್ moderate here. ಅಷ್ಟು ಈಸಿ ಇರಂಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಅಷ್ಟು ಡಿಫಿಕಲ್ಟ್ ಇರಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. Moderately the paper will be prepared so that you should able to score good marks also, and you should put showcase your efforts also. That is how the question paper has been designed. Okay, now I will be doing, still there is a time ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಫಾಸ್ಟ್ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತೈತಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತೈತಿ. ಸೊ ಹಂಗ ಆಗ್ಬಾರ್ದು. ಅವಸರ ಬಿ ಅಪಘಾತಕ್ಕೆ ಕಾರಣ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಆರಾಮಾಗಿ ಹೋಗೋಣ. Okay, so patiently ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಹೋಗೋಣ. Just see now, nutrition means what? Food. Nutrition means ಊಟ. ಸೊ ಈಗ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಜೀವಂತಿರೋದು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳಿ ಊಟದಿಂದ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಗಿವ್ ಯು ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಟು ಸರ್ವೈವ್. ಊಟ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ? 1 ದಿನ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, 2 ದಿನ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, 10 ದಿನ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, 11ನೇ ದಿನ ಏನಾಗ್ತೈತಿ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ? ಡ್ಯೂ ಟು ವೀಕ್ನೆಸ್ ಸ್ವಿಚ್ ಆಫ್. ಓಕೆ, ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ರ್ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತೈತಿ. ಅದು ಆಗ್ಬಾರ್ದು. ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಯು ಶುಡ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಸಫಿಷಿಯಂಟ್ ಫುಡ್. ಈಗ ಐತಂತೇಳಿ ಅಂತ ಇಂತ ತಿನ್ನೋದಿರಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಪದ್ಧತಿ ಐತಿ. ಸೊ ಏನ್ ತಿನ್ಬೇಕು ನಮ್ಮ ಬಾಡಿಗೆ ಅದು ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಿಷನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಯುವರ್ ಬಾಡಿ ಶುಡ್ ಗ್ರೋ ವಾಟ್ potentially. So for that purpose nutrition is important. See, all living things perform certain life. ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಜೀವಂತ ಅದಾರ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಏನಾಗ್ಬೇಕು ಹೇಳಿ? ಗ್ರೋ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು. ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್, ಎಕ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೀಷನ್, ರಿಮೂವಲ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಹಾರ್ಮ್ಫುಲ್ ಮೆಟಾಬಾಲಿಕ್ ವೇಸ್ಟ್. ಥರ್ಡ್, ಅವ್ರು ರೆಸ್ಪೈರ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು. ಫೋರ್ತ್, ಅವರ ಬಾಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸರ್ಕ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ ಇರಬೇಕು. 5ನೇದು ರೀಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಇಫ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್ ಆಲ್ ದೀಸ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್, ದೆನ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಯು ಟೆಲ್ ದಟ್ ಹಿ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಲಿವಿಂಗ್ ಥಿಂಗ್, ಹಿ ಆರ್ ಶಿ, and they are capable of surviving. Okay, now so yes, I know most of you are fasting because of Ramzan, but the fasting doesn't, it is called intermittent fasting dear. Means you will be fasting some hours of the day, not entire 24 hours. So intermittent fasting is also beneficial, keeping in the mind the overall benefits of that. Okay, so coming back to the answer, the energy required to carry out different life processes obtained from carbon based food source through nutrition. ನಮಗೆ ಊಟದಿಂದ ಏನಾಯ್ತಲ್ರಿ? ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಸಿಗ್ತೈತಿ, and that food is composed of carbon only. So for that purpose carbon chapter is very important. Now when it comes to nutrition, since you are a primary, I think you are aware in your second, third standard also you have done project work related to autotrophic nutrition and heterotropic nutrition. So autotrophic nutrition means what? Automatic. You know the word auto iti. Auto means what? Autotrophic. ತಾನ ಆಟೋಮೆಟಿಕ್ ಆಗಿ ಅವ್ರ ಊಟವನ್ನು ರೆಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. Example is plants, that is some plants and bacteria, you should know, they prepare their own food. ಅವ್ರು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ? They prepare their own food. Okay, see, it is a kind of nutrition in which organisms prepare its own food by a process called photosynthesis. So in detail we will see what is photosynthesis subsequently. Then green plants and some photosynthetic are the example for autotrophic nutrition are green plants and some photosynthetic bacteria. Heterotropic nutrition is one that depends on others for their food. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ? ಬ್ಯಾರೆಯವ್ರಿಗೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಹೇಳಿ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ದೇ ಕೆನಾಟ್ ಗೆಟ್ ದೇರ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಬೈ themselves. They are dependent on other organisms for their food. We call it as what? Autotrophic nutrition. Okay, sorry, heterotrophic nutrition. It is a kind of nutrition in which organism takes the food from another organism. We call it as what? Heterotrophic nutrition ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನಾವಿಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ. So ತಿಳಿತು what is heterotrophic nutrition? They depends on other organisms for their food. Okay. Now animals and fungi, it is in the heterotrophic nutrition there are holozoic nutrition. Remember, holozoic nutrition means they take in the food inside the body and there they will break down. So we call it as what? Holozoic nutrition. So tell me, what is holozoic? Holozoic nutrition means the food is taken into the body and inside the body it is absorbed. Amoeba and animals. Saprophytes means those are the organisms, they break down the food outside the body and they eat. For example, fungi, dead and decaying matter. Parasitic means these are the organisms, they make other organisms as a host and they, without killing them, they consume the food or they depend on them for food. We call it as what? Parasitic. Example, cuscata, ticks and mites. Now nutrition in plant, you should only read about what is photosynthesis andre ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನೀವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಬೇಕು. So photosynthesis andre ಏನೀಗ dear, all the important questions I am letting you know dear, don't worry. I ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅದೇನಿ Lakshmi, Sanju and some boy is there. Hello dear. Yes, Khurshid Patel, excellent. ಈಗಿಲ್ಲ ನೋಡಿ, carbon and energy requirements of autotrophic organism are fulfilled by photosynthesis. So photosynthesis ಒಳಗೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತೈತಿ ಹೇಳಿ, if there is a leaf, ಆ leaf ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೈತಿ, it will take in the sunlight and carbon dioxide and water, the chlorophyll in presence of sunlight, and it will prepare a intermediate food called glucose and it will give out oxygen and water. So this process we call it as what? It is nothing but photosynthesis. See, it is a process by which the autotrophs are the plants. What will happen is, entire plant, suppose this is a leaf, ಇದರ ಮೇಲೆ sunlight ಬಿದ್ದಾಗ ಏನಾಗ್ತೈತೆ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ, in presence of ಇದರೊಳಗೆ already carbon dioxide and water ಬಂತು, it will prepare what? C6H12O6, that is glucose. It is a source of energy in this case. Okay, now you can see it is a process by which autotrophs take in substances from the outside and convert them into the stored forms of energy. This material is taken in the form of carbon dioxide and water. This, see, the carbon dioxide and water in presence of chlorophyll and sunlight, it is converted into carbohydrate glucose in presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. There are 3 steps in the photosynthesis. ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಇದು ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡಿ, ನನ್ನ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್. ಎವ್ರಿವನ್ ರೈಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಡೌನ್. ಯಾರು ನೋಡಕತ್ತೀರಿ, ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ yes, ಪಟಾಪಟ ಏನೈತಿ, this answer you should write. Okay, fix question. It is love from Bidar. Thank you dear. Love from Hubballi. Yes, so fast agi ನನಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ this is a fixed question. 3 steps in photosynthesis. ಇದು ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ. ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀತೀರಿ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ಸ್, ರೈಟ್ ದ 3 steps ಆರ್ ಇವೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಫೋಟೋಸಿಂಥಸಿಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತೈತಿ. ರೈಟ್ ದ ಇವೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ ಇನ್ ಫೋಟೋಸಿಂಥಸಿಸ್, ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ ಇನ್ ಫೋಟೋಸಿಂಥಸಿಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಬಂದ್ ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ. ಎಲ್ಲಾರು ಇದು 3 ಮಾರ್ಕಿಗೆ ಬರ್ತೈತಿ, ಸೊ ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ 3 words you should by heart: absorption, ಕನ್ವರ್ಷನ್ ಮತ್ತು ರಿಡಕ್ಷನ್. ಸೊ ಇವು 3 ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ನೀವು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಬರ್ದ್ ಬಿಟ್ರಿ, 3 ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಏನೈತಿ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡ್ತೈತಿ. ಸೊ 3 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಈ 3 ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ಅನ್ನ ಬರೀಲೇಬೇಕು. ಯು ಶುಡ್ ಏಬಲ್ ಟು ರೈಟ್ ದಿಸ್. ಓಕೆ, so now you can see how to write this. Steps involved in photosynthesis. What? Suppose this is a leaf. The first step is absorption of sunlight by chlorophyll. So chlorophyll is a pigment which is present in the leaf, that is a green pigment. First thing ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ರಿ, the absorption of sunlight by the chlorophyll. Second, the conversion of this light energy into chemical energy and splitting the water molecules. So you know water molecule is having what? H2O I T. It will be split into what? Hydrogen ಮತ್ತು oxygen, and reduction of carbon dioxide ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದು ಏನಾಗ್ತೈತೆ ಹೇಳಿ, carbohydrate C6H12O6. Reduction means what? Addition of hydrogen. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಡೈಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಈಗ ಎಚ್ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದಿಲ್ಲ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಚ್ ಆಡ್ ಆಯ್ತು. ಸೊ ಅಡಿಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ವಾಟ್? ರಿಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನಾವಿಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಟೆಲ್ ಮಿ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ಇನ್ ಫೋಟೋಸಿಂಥಸಿಸ್? ಅಬ್ಸಾರ್ಪ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಸನ್ಲೈಟ್ ಬೈ chlorophyll or light energy by chlorophyll. Second, conversion of light energy to chemical energy and splitting the water molecules into hydrogen and oxygen, and reduction of carbon dioxide to carbohydrate or glucose. So if you write there this much, so you will get the 3 mark fix. So this is iದೇ ಬರ್ತೈತಿ, ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಓದ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ಲೇಬೇಕು. Now exchange of gases through stomata, and example you fix, you will get what? The stomata. So open and close stomata. Open stomata na study ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಿ, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಓಪನ್ ಸ್ಟೊಮ್ಯಾಟೋ ನ ಬರ್ತೈತಿ. ಸರ್ ಯು ನಾಟ್ ಟೋಲ್ಡ್ ಟುಡೇ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್ ದಿಯರ್ ಆಲ್ ದ ಸಮ್ಸ್, ಆಲ್ 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 questions from physics. Bhavan Gamer, I'll be telling today, dear, don't worry, I'll be completing up today. Okay, now see the exchange of gases hang ಆಗ್ತೈತಿ. For you, you are having nose, ನಿಮಗೆ ಏನೈತಲ್ರಿ nose ಐತಿ. ಸೊ through which exchange of gases ಆಗ್ತೈತಿ, ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೈತಿ, ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಡೈಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಹೊರಗೆ ಬರ್ತೈತಿ, ಒಳಗು ಹೊರಗು. ಸೊ it will happen through what? Nose only. Now massive amount of gas exchange takes place in the leaves through a tiny pores. ಲೀಫ್ ಅನ್ನ ಹಿಂದ್ಗಡೆ ಏನಿರ್ತಾವೆ ಸಣ್ಣ 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 ಹೋಲ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾವು, ಪೋರ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾವು, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಸ್ಟೊಮ್ಯಾಟಾ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. The plant closes these pores when it does not need carbon dioxide for photosynthesis. The opening and closing, ಇದು open close ಆಗ್ತೈತಿ. It is regulated by this guard cell. ಈಗ ಸೆಕ್ಯೂರಿಟಿ ಗಾರ್ಡ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಯಾರು ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಗೇಟ್ ತೆಗಿತಾರೆ ಬಂದ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಗೇಟ್ ತೆಗಿತಾರೆ ಬಂದ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಸೇಮ್ ಥಿಂಗ್. ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಓಪನಿಂಗ್ ಕ್ಲೋಸಿಂಗ್ ಈಸ್ guard cell. Similarly the pore, see the guard cell swell, ಇದೊಳಗೆ ನೀರ್ ಬಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊರಿ, ಅದು swell ಆಗಿ ಓಪನ್ ಆಗ್ತೈತಿ. ನೀರ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ it will close and it will off. See, the guard cells swell when water flows into them, causing the stomatal pore to open. Similarly the pores closes if the guard cell shrink. Exchange of gases occurs across the surface of stem and roots as well. So bare namag annastiti illa, bare leaf le ashta exchange ಆಗ್ತೈತಿ ಇಲ್ಲ. So even the exchange of gases will happen across the roots and stem also. This point you should have a note, because in objectives this is most importantly pointed out question. So keeping that in mind only, here it has been highlighted. Okay, now activity to demonstrate chlorophyll is essential for photosynthesis, and textbook ಒಳಗೆ ಇದ್ದಂತ ಎಲ್ಲ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟೀಸ್ ಅನ್ನ their conclusion inference ಅನ್ನ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೇಬೇಕು. ಓಕೆ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಡಿಫಿಕಲ್ಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಯು ಟು ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್. Now you can see, take a potted plant with variegated variety. Variegated means variety leaves. For example, money plants ತಗೋರಿ. Keep the plant in a dark room for 3 days so that all the starch get used up. Now keep the plant in sunlight for 6 hours. Pluck the leaf from the plant. Mark the green areas. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ, green areas mark ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. Trace them on a sheet of paper. Test a leaf for presence of starch. Only the parts which were green previously, or green ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದು ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ blue ಆಗ್ತೈತಿ. This activity shows that chlorophyll is necessary for photosynthesis. Again, very important activity. Similarly, in this textbook you have this activity. Take 2. This activity is at least inference. The inference of this activity is, conclusion is CO2, carbon dioxide is necessary for photosynthesis. Something you will ನೆನಪಿಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. See here, take 2 healthy potted plants which are nearly same size. Keep them in dark room. ಮತ್ತೆ 3 ದಿನ dark room ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಡಿ. Now place each plant on separate glass plates. Place a watch glass containing sodium hydroxide. So the main important, what is the purpose of this sodium hydroxide KOH? The main purpose ಏನೈತೆ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ? The main purpose is the sodium, the potassium hydroxide KOH is used to absorb carbon dioxide. So without carbon dioxide ಏನಾಗ್ತೈತೆ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ? photosynthesis ಆಗಂಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. So cover both the plants with bell jars. Use Vaseline to seal the bottom of jar to glass plates. Keep the plants in sunlight for 2 hours. pluck a leaf from each plant and check for the presence of starch. So leaf plucked from the plant where KOH ಇಟ್ಟಿದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ potassium hydroxide ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ photosynthesis proper ಆಗಿ ಆಗಿರಂಗಿಲ್ಲ because there will be no sufficient carbon dioxide. So this activity shows that chlorophyll is necessary for photosynthesis. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ sunlight is necessary for photosynthesis. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಟೇಪ್ ತಗೊಂಡ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಗೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ ಲೀಫ್ ಹಚ್ಬಿಡಿ and after 2-3 days you can just see the remaining part will be green. Only the plant which you kept at black tape, it has not gone photosynthesis, it has become yellow in color. This activity shows sunlight is necessary for what? Photosynthesis until e activity ನಮಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೈತಿ. Okay, see here, take a potted plant, clip a paper, black paper strip to the leaf. Now keep the plant in sunlight for 6 hours. Plug the leaf from the plant and remove the black tape or black paper. Test the leaf for the presence of starch. Only the parts which are exposed to sunlight are turned blue-black with iodine. This shows that sunlight is necessary for photosynthesis. Now, nutrition in amoeba. Again, it is a fixed question. ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಸಲ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಿಷನ್ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡ್ತೈತಿ. ಇಫ್ ಐ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ solve all the problems, question answers, your mind will not connect here because you need to have prior knowledge. ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು ಈ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಪೇಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೈತಿ, ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬುಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೇನದಾವ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ I hope everyone are connecting. If you are finding this session helpful, I request everyone to put the thumbs up in the comment section so that I can get to know you people are understanding. And ille tana bandbittiri, I request everyone to kindly look into the enroll into the UDAAN scholarship test, which will be on 5th of April 2026, that is on Sunday. And offline it is a phase 3rd in order to avail the scholarship benefits. Okay, now again what will happen is we will be having the summer vacation camp for upcoming 10th standard students. If you are your juniors, inform them to enroll for UDAAN scholarship test for 2 months. Okay, thank you so much. Shaun, Divya, Hema is there. Yes, sorry. So we will be coming up with what? Nutrition in amoeba. See, amoeba takes in food. Amoeba, see here, amoeba doesn't have hands, legs, mouth, nothing. Okay, even though they are living means or uta ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಜೀವನ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. So for that purpose, what does amoeba does? So ಅಂತದ್ ಏನ್ amoeba ಮಾಡ್ತೈತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನಾವಿಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡೋಣ. See, amoeba takes in food using finger like projection, temporary finger like extension called pseudopodia. ಈ pseudopodia ಏನಾಗ್ತೈತೆ ಹೇಳಿ, pseudo means false. One cavity, one small shape cavity ಅದು fake ಮಾಡ್ತೈತಿ, and that is how you should know here. These extensions encircle the food. ಇಲ್ಲಿ food ಏನಾಗ್ತೈತಿ ಒಳಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೈತಿ, forming a food vacuole. Inside the food vacuole, all the nutrients present in the food will be broken down. Complex substances are broken down into simpler ones. The digested food ಏನಾಗ್ತೈತಿ through cytoplasm ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ diffuse ಆಗ್ತೈತಿ. See, the digested food diffuse into the cytoplasm. ಎಲ್ಲ ಅದರೊಳಗೆ ಇದ್ದಂತ ರೈಬೋಸೋಮ್ಸ್ ಆಯ್ತು, ಲೈಸೋಸೋಮ್ಸ್ ಆಯ್ತು, ಎಲ್ಲ ಮೈಟೋಕಾಂಡ್ರಿಯಾ, all the cell organelles, they will get benefited, and the remaining undigested material is moved to the surface of the cell and thrown out. Now finally we will start up with what? Nutrition in human beings. So human being ali the nutrition, the first step of nutrition, it begins from what? Mouth only. So illéna fix question bartavu, enzymes tana pidkobeku, the protein digesting enzyme aitu, stomach olage yavyava adavu, then mouth olage enena aiti ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ fix question nutrition ಲೇನ ಬರ್ತೈತಿ. ಎಲ್ಲಾರು nutrition सब ಕಣ್ಣಾಗಿ ಹಿಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಲೇಬೇಕು. ವಿತೌಟ್ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಿಷನ್ it is very difficult for you all to study. Okay, so yes, you can just see now the human digestive system comprises of what? Alimentary canal. Alimentary canal means digestive system. ಈಗ 10th ಗೆ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿರಂದ್ರೆ ಈಗ ನೀವು digestive system ಅನ್ನಂಗಿಲ್ಲ, ನೀವು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನಂತೀರಿ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ? You call it as what? Alimentary canal. The alimentary canal is long muscular tube extending from mouth to anus. Associated glands include salivary glands, gastric gland, liver and pancreas. So remember, the first step of digestion starts from mouth only. Tongue, mouth is the first step. Then this is a food pipe. We call it as esophagus. Mouth is biology of buccal cavity and ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. So ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, buccal cavity. Okay, that one you should. No, then you can see liver here, then this is gallbladder, this is stomach, then you can see pancreas, then this large intestine, small intestine, appendix, then we see anus. See first mouth, digestion in mouth ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, in mouth our teeth. So what is the function of teeth now? Teeth ಏನ್ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತೈತೆ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ? In the teeth, the main function of teeth is it crushes the food into smaller particles. ಆ food ಗೆ ಏನೈತೆ chew ಮಾಡಿ smaller particles ಆಗಿ convert ಮಾಡ್ತೈತಿ. ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೋರಿ, what is the function of mouth? ಈ digestion in mouth, buccal cavity ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದಾಗ our teeth crushes the food into smaller particles and of same texture. Saliva secreted by salivary glands. So salivary glands the one saliva ಏನು produce ಆಗ್ತೈತೆ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ. So we can say, hi sir, I'm Sakina from UDAAN Deepak. Excellent Sakina, nice to see you online. So many students are online. Excellent, legend Satish, very good. See, saliva secreted by salivary gland. Nam ಬಾಯಿ ಒಳಗೆ ಇದ್ದಂತ salivary gland ಏನು secret ಮಾಡ್ತೈತಲ್ರಿ, it helps in softening of food. Again fixed question, what is the function of saliva? So saliva first ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೈತಿ ಹೇಳಿ, food ಗೆ soft ಮಾಡ್ತೈತಿ. The main function of it is what? It softens the food. The saliva contains an enzyme called as salivary amylase. It contains called salivary amylase. So what is the function? This question only has come main exam 2025 ida question bandbittide. That is the main function of saliva. See, the main function of saliva is it contains an enzyme called salivary amylase and that breaks down the starch into simple sugars. From the mouth, now food is entered into food pipe. Okay, so nenapidkori, it will enter into the food pipe. The food is taken to the stomach through a food pipe. We also call it as what? Esophagus. Now it was done by the rhythmic movement. So the food pipe ಒಳಗೆ ಏನಾಯ್ತೈತೆ, rhythmic movement ಒಳಗೆ ಆ food ಕೆಳಗಡೆ push ಹಾಕೊಂತ ಹೋಗಿ from our food pipe it will be pushed downward into the stomach. This is called as peristaltic movement. Now the food is entered into the stomach. In stomach we are having three people. Nanapidkori, first one is HCl, second one is pepsin, and third one is mucus. So these 3 points explain the digestion in stomach and kelidra. For 3 mark you should write this. Okay, explain the digestion in stomach. 3 markiಗೆ ಇದು ಬಂದ್ ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಬಂದ ಬರ್ತೀವಿ. Divya R bolus, very good dear. The food will become in the form of ball. We call it as bolus. Excellent dear. Now role of stomach or gastric gland. See, the digestion in stomach is taken care by gastric gland. Stomach ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಂತ glands ಗೆ ನಾವು ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ, we call it as gastric glands present in the wall of stomach. This release HCl. What is HCl? HCl is an hydrochloric acid which is present. The main function is to kill the harmful bacteria present in the food. And it is a protein digesting enzyme called pepsin and it is having mucus. So ಮೂರು ಮಂದಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಸ್ಟಮಕ್ ಒಳಗ ಅದಾರ್ರಿ. One is HCl, second one is pepsin, and third one is the mucus. See, the HCl creates an acidic medium. Nanapidkori, the function of HCl is what? To make the stomach medium acidic, and which facilitates the action of enzyme called pepsin. It kills microbes present in the food. So harmful bacteria or microbes ಊಟದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದದನ್ನ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಮಾಡೋದನ್ನ ಕೆಲಸ ಯಾರು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ? HCl. The mucus protects the inner lining of stomach from action of acid. Okay, mucus ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೈತೆ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ? It protects the inner lining of stomach from action of acid ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನಾವಿಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ. Okay, then from stomach the food now enters into the small intestine. ಈಗ large intestine ಆಯ್ತು. From large intestine the food now enters into the small intestine. From small intestine, this is the longest part of the alimentary canal. The length of small intestine differs in various animals depending on the food they eat. See, herbivores have longer small intestine. Can somebody tell me why herbivores have smaller long intestine and carnivores have shorter small intestine? Tell me why herbivores, cows, sheep, goat. So all these people will have larger small intestine. ಎದಕ್ಕೈತೆ ಅಂತ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಬೇಕು. ಓಕೆ, ವಿರೂಪಾಕ್ಷಿ ಗೌಡ Menasgi is asking paper will be difficult. Dear, it will be difficult in the sense the most questions will be from the application level questions, and if you have read thoroughly the activities which are present in all the chapters, you can able to answer the questions, dear. Focus more now on model question papers, then preparatory papers, activities, textual questions is much important. Okay, so let me know why the herbivores have smaller long intestine. Anybody here? Yes, because they eat grass. Shaun Fernandez, excellent, dear. And when you tell that they eat grass, grass is having a particular thing called as cellulose, and you know that the cellulose is easiest to digest. That answer you should do, digest a cellulose. Okay, but for carnivores what will happen is they will be having most of proteins, and proteins is very easier to digest. Okay, very good. See here, herbivores eating grass need a longer small intestine to allow cellulose to be digested. Meat is easier to digest, hence carnivores have shorter small intestine. Then what is the role of small intestine? You know that as Kavita, yes, excellent, dear. Jawari tricks is there, Likit. This kind of answers the board is expecting. The cellulose word barda saku full marks bandbudtiti. Okay, see. The small intestine is the site of complete digestion of food, carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. It receives the secretion from yes, so much lengthy it is. As soon as you see, I can see many comments. Vibhishan is there. Hi Vibhishan, nice name, dear. Sakina, excellent. C3 she has written. How much we can score after reading model paper? Dear, reading model paper you will hardly pass, but understanding model paper, because the direct question from model question paper won't be arriving. They will be twisting the questions. Even if you know the answer, getting the same direct question is very difficult. Okay, direct question science alli barange illa. So you can see here it receives the secretion from liver and pancreas. Nam stomach alli small intestine alli liver ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಐತಿ ಮತ್ತು pancreas ಇವರಿಬ್ರು ಮಂದಿ ಕೂಡಿ ಏನೈತಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಒಬ್ಬರಲ್ಲ ಇಬ್ಬರದಾರಿ. Pancreatic enzymes adavu, they act in alkaline medium. The food coming from the stomach is acidic. You know, our stomach is having HCl, that is hydrochloric acid, and that is made alkaline. This is accomplished by which juice? Bile juice secreted from the liver. Similarly, fats are present in the intestine in the form of large globules. Avish doddirtavri, avanna break ಮಾಡಿ small pieces convert ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. That we call it as what? Emulsification ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನಾವಿಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ. See, bile salts break down them into smaller globules, increasing the efficiency of enzyme action. The pancreas secretes which juice? We call it as pancreatic juice, which contains an enzyme called trypsin for digesting protein and lipase for breaking down emulsified fat. This is fixed question. Trypsin ಮತ್ತು lipase ಬಗ್ಗೆನೇ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಓದಲೇಬೇಕು. ಓಕೆ, everyone should study what? Trypsin and lipase. See here, trypsin, it is a protein digesting enzyme. Lipase breaks down the emulsified fat. You yaru ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೋರಿ. 2 ಮಾರ್ಕಿಗೆ with write the function of the following. Trypsin, lipase ಅಂತ ಬಹಳ ಸಲ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ you should write it. Okay, fix question. ಸೊ 3 ಮಾರ್ಕಿಗೆ ಏನೈತಲ್ಲ ಇದು ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡ್ತೈತಿ. ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಬರ್ದೇ ಬಡಿತೀರಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಈಗ LBA, this is not the right time to touch the LBA freshly. ನೀವು ಮೊದ್ಲಿಂದ ಓದಾಕತ್ತೀರಿ, ರಿವಿಷನ್ ಮಾಡಾಕತ್ತೀರಿ, LBA ಓದ್ರಿ. LBA ತಗೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ರಿ ಮಾನಸಿಕ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀರಿ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಇಂದ 100 ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಗಳದಾವು. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಡಿಫಿಕಲ್ಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಯು ಟು ರೀಡ್ ದೆಮ್ ಅಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಮೂಮೆಂಟ್. ದಿಸ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಇಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಡಿಫಿಕಲ್ಟ್. ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ, ಮೇಕ್ ಶೋರ್ ಯುವರ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಯು ಕಾಂಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ವಾಟ್? Studying the textbook at least ಮತ್ತು ನೀವು LB ಒಳಗೆ ಡಿಫಿಕಲ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ನೋಡಿ ಮಾನಸಿಕ ಆಗಿ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ತಯಾರಾಗಿ ಬಿಡ್ತೀರಿ, ಮಲ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮತ್ತು ನಾಳೆ ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ ಎದ್ದು ಬಿಡ್ತೀರಿ. ಅದಕ್ಕಂದ್ರೆ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ lengthy and ಅದ್ರೊಳಗೆ fully theoretical is biology. Biology is easy but biology is very lengthy, ಮುಗಿಯಂಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ನಾ ಈಗ ರಾತ್ರಿ 10 ಗಂಟೆ ಆದ್ರೂ ನಾ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಂಡ್ ಕುಂತ್ರು ಬಯೋಲಾಜಿ ಏನೈತಿ ಮುಗಿಯಂಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಅಷ್ಟು ಏನೈತಿ ಲೆಂದಿ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್. ಸೋಷಿಯಲ್ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ನೋಡ್ರಿ ಆದರೂ ಊರ್ ರಾಡಿ ಅಂತ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಲ್ರಿ ಮುಗಿಯಂಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಡಿಫಿಕಲ್ಟ್ ಇದು ಐತಿ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಸೋ ಡೆಪ್ತ್ ದಟ್ ಇದರ್ ಲೈನ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರ್ರಿ. ಓಕೆ, ನಾಳೆ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಅದಿರಂದ್ರ 1000 ಪೇಜ್ ಒಳಗ ಅಲ್ಲೆಂತ ಐತೈತಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಪತ್ತೆ ಹಚ್ಚಬೇಕು. ಓಕೆ, ಈಗ ಇದ ಲೈನ್ ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಲೈಪೇಸ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೈತಿ, ಬ್ರೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಡೌನ್ ಇಮಲ್ಸಿಫೈಡ್ ಫ್ಯಾಟ್, ಇಷ್ಟ ಬುಕ್ ಒಳಗ ಈ ಲೈನ್ ಕೊಡೋದು ಒಂದೇ ಸಲ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರ್ರಿ. ಇದು ಈ ಒಂದೇ ವರ್ಡ್ ಏನ್ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತೈತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಅಂತ ಡೆಪ್ತ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಅಂಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಅ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ ನೀವು ನಾಳೆ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಅದಿರಂದ್ರ ಈಗಿಂದ ಬಯೋಲಾಜಿ ನೀವು ಪ್ರೀತಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಹೌ ಯು ಶುಡ್ read. See, the walls of small intestine contains glands which secretes intestinal juice. See, intestine ಏನೈತಿ ತಂದು ಆದಂತ ಓನ್ ಜ್ಯೂಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಅದು ಸೀಕ್ರೆಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೈತಿ. So the enzymes present in it finally converts all the proteins into amino acids, carbohydrates into glucose, and fats into fatty acids. These are the final product of digestion. Like this you should write. Then the inner lining of small intestine has fibrous finger-like projection called villi. So ಎಲ್ಲಾರ್ಗು ವಿಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿರ್ಬೇಕು, ವಿಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಗಾಡಿ ವಿಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರಲ್ರಿ ಆ ವಿಲ್ಲಿ ಅಲ್ಲ. ನಿಮ್ ಸ್ಟಮಕ್ ಒಳಗು ಫಿಂಗರ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಪ್ರೊಜೆಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಅದಾವು. ವಿ ಕಾಲ್ ದೆಮ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ವಿಲ್ಲಿ. Okay, the two which increase the surface area for absorption. The villi are richly supplied with the blood vessels which take the absorbed food. The unabsorbed food is sent into the large intestine where its walls absorb more water from this material. The rest of the material is removed from the body via the anus. The exit of the waste material is regulated by anal sphincter. Now the digestive enzymes told you salivary amylase, salivary glands, lipase, pancreas bartiti, trypsin, pancreatic bartiti. This one you should know. Now the topic 2 is respiration. See, respiration is a process in which living organisms involve what breathing. ಈಗ ಬರೀ respiration ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತೈತಿ, breathe ಆಗ್ತೈತಿ, that is one part of respiration. And conversion of food into energy. ನೀವು ಏನ್ ತಿಂತಿರಲ್ಲ ಅದ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿಗೆ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡುವಂತ ಕ್ರಿಯೆಗೆ ನಾವು ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ, that is also respiration. There are two definitions of respiration: conversion of food into energy and breathing also. One part of respiration. Converting food into energy is also another part of respiration. ಈಗ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ respiration ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ, taking in of oxygen, giving out of carbon dioxide, breathing. No, that is one part. Conversion of food into energy, we call it as what? Respiration. ಈಗ 10th ಬಂದಿರಂದ್ರೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಏನೈತಲ್ಲ ನೀವು ಟೈಮ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಓದ್ಬೇಕು. See, breathing, gaseous exchange, intake of oxygen from the atmosphere and release of carbon dioxide, we call it as what? We call it as respiration. Then breakdown of simple food in order to release energy inside the cell. So respiration, there are two types. Fixed question ಬರ್ಕೊಂಬಿಡಿ, ಎಲ್ಲಾರು ಫಿಕ್ಸ್. ಇದು ಫಿಕ್ಸ್. ನಾ ಏನ್ ಅಂದೀನಿ ಬರ್ಕೊಂಬಿಡಿ. ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ಏರೋಬಿಕ್ ಮತ್ತು ಆನರೋಬಿಕ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ, ಎಲ್ಲಾರು ಬರ್ಕೋರಿ. ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ಏರೋಬಿಕ್ ಮತ್ತು ಆನರೋಬಿಕ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನ್ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್. ಸೊ ಅ ಬಿಗ್ ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ಟು ದಿಸ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್. ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಸಲ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಂತ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಇದು. ನನ್ನ ಸಲುವಾಗಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ನಿಮ್ ಸಲುವಾಗಿ ಓದ್ಕೋರಿ. ಅ ಬಿಗ್ ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ಟು ದಿಸ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ because it will come definitely. Okay, yaad ಹೇಳ್ರಿ ಇದು respiration. There are two types of respiration. Orally ಬರ್ತೈತಿ aerobic ಮತ್ತು anaerobic respiration. Okay, so takes place in presence of oxygen. ಇಲ್ಲ ನೋಡಿ, aerobic means in presence of oxygen, absence of oxygen, more energy, less energy. End products are carbon dioxide and water. End products are alcohol and carbon dioxide. Example, most plants and animals, bacteria and yeast. ನಾಲ್ಕೇ 4 ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಬರೀಬೇಕು. ಎಲ್ಲಾರು ಏನೈತಿ 4 ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಏನೈತಿ ಬರೀಲೇಬೇಕು. ಓಕೆ, ಐ ಹೋಪ್ ಎಲ್ಲಾರು ತಿಳಾಕತ್ತೈತಿ. ಹಿಂಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೈತಿ ಎಲ್ಲಾರು ಬಿಡಿಸ್ಬೇಕು. ಎಸ್, ಐ ಹೋಪ್ ಎಲ್ಲಾರು ತಿಳಾಕತ್ತೈತಿ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್, breakdown of glucose by various pathways. I hope ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಬರ್ತ್ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಮಾಡೇ ಇರ್ತೀರಿ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಇನ್ ಪ್ರಿಪೇಟರಿ ನಾಟ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಿಪೇಟರಿ ಇನ್ ಯುವರ್ ಎಫ್ ಎಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ ಮಿಡ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಂತ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಇದು ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಫುಲ್ ಚಾರ್ಟ್ ಕೇಳಂಗಿಲ್ಲ ಬರೀ ರೈಟ್ ದ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ of the respiration in absence of oxygen, lack of oxygen ಮತ್ತು presence of oxygen ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ನೀವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೆನಪಿಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ only will be asked but not directly, indirectly one of this you should write. See, glucose is a 6 carbon molecule because C6H12O6. Then in cytoplasm it will become pyruvate 3 carbon molecule plus energy. ಈ ಪ್ಯಾರುವೇಟ್ ನಸೀಬ್ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ನಸೀಬ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಫೇಟ್. ಸೊ ದ ಫೇಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ಪ್ಯಾರುವೇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಅಬ್ಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್. ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಸಿಗಲೇ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಆಲ್ಕೋಹಾಲ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗ್ತೈತಿ. ಸೊ ಈಗ ಆಲ್ಕೋಹಾಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರ ಈಗ ಶುಗರ್ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಒಳಗೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ, ಆಲ್ಕೋಹಾಲ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಅವ್ರು ಹ್ಯಾಂಗ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರಂದ್ರ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಸಪ್ಲೈ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಮಾಡಂಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಡಿಕಂಪೋಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಏನೈತಿ ಆಲ್ಕೋಹಾಲ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗ್ತೈತಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಆ ಆಲ್ಕೋಹಾಲ್ ಅನ್ನ ಬ್ಯಾರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ವರ್ಷ ಇರ್ತಿರಲ್ರಿ ಅಷ್ಟದ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ. 50 ವರ್ಷ 60 ವರ್ಷದ್ದು 100 ವರ್ಷದ್ದು ಆಲ್ಕೋಹಾಲ್ ಏನೈತಿ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಹೌ ದ ಬ್ಯೂಟಿ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ಆಲ್ಕೋಹಾಲ್. ಸಿ ಅಬ್ಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ನೀವು ಕೊಡ್ಲೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಈಸ್ಟ್ ಹಾಕಿ ಎಥನಾಲ್ ಬರ್ತೈತಿ. ದ ಮೇನ್ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಲ್ಕೋಹಾಲ್ 2 ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್, ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಡೈಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ. ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ನಿಮ್ ಮಸಲ್ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ಗೆ, ಈಗ ನಿಮ್ ಕೈ ಕಾಲ್ ಅದಾವು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದ ಕೈ ಕಾಲ್ ನೋವು ಆಗ್ತಾವ್ರಿ, ಏನಂತೀರಿ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಮಸಲ್ ಕ್ರ್ಯಾಂಪ್. ಸೊ ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್, ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸಿಗಾಕತ್ತೈತಿ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಬೇಕಷ್ಟು ಸಿಗಾಕತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಇನ್ ಅವರ್ ಮಸಲ್ಸ್ ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ಟಿಕ್ ಆಸಿಡ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗ್ತೈತಿ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ. ಪ್ರೆಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಐತಿ ನಿಮ್ದು ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಒಳಗ, ನಿಮ್ ಲಂಗ್ಸ್ ದಾಗ. ಸೊ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಡೈಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಬರ್ತೈತಿ. ನೀವು ಏನ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀರಿ ನಿಮ್ ಥ್ರೂ ಯುವರ್ ಮೌತ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಥ್ರೂ ಯುವರ್ ನೋಸ್, ವಾಟರ್ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ. ಬಟ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾವು ಅದು ನೀವು ಕಲಿಬೇಕು. ಬರೀ ಅನಿಮಲ್ಸ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಈಗ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾವ ಅವ್ರಿಗೂ ಉಸಿರಾಡ್ತಾವು. ವಿದರ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಸರ್ವೈವಿಂಗ್. ದೆನ್ ಹೌ ವಿಲ್ ದ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ಡೂ ನಾವ್? ದ ಮೇನ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕಮ್ಸ್ ವಿತ್ ದ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾವು ನೀವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ. ಸಿ ಇನ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಚೇಂಜ್ ಇನ್ plants exchange of gases carried out through stomata, lenticle, stem and other roots. Carbon dioxide and oxygen are exchanged by the process called diffusion. The direction of diffusion depends upon environmental conditions and requirement of the plant. See, at night, first ಏನಾಗ್ತೈತೆ ಹೇಳಿ ರಾತ್ರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ when there is no photosynthesis, ಅವ್ರು ರಾತ್ರಿನ ಅರ್ಧ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿ ಇಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ. See, in the night only, when there is no photosynthesis, carbon dioxide elimination is the major exchange activity. During the daytime, carbon dioxide generated during respiration is used up for photosynthesis. Hence, oxygen release is the major event. So, night ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತೈತಿ ಮತ್ತು ಡೇ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತೈತಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಫೋಟೋಸಿಂಥಸಿಸ್ ಅಂತ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ನೋಡಿ ಓದ್ಲೇಬೇಕು ಮತ್ತು ಬರೀಲೇಬೇಕು. ಓಕೆ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್. Terrestrial animals can breathe the oxygen in atmosphere, but animals that live in water need to use oxygen dissolved in water. The amount of dissolved oxygen is fairly low compared to the amount of oxygen in air. Hence, the rate of breathing in aquatic animals. So, why do the fishes and aquatic animals they breathe faster? Why the aquatic animals ella edak ಜಾಸ್ತಿ breathe ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೇಳಿದಾದಿ. So ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತೈತಿ the amount dissolved because the dissolved oxygen present in this aquatic animals is very less, and the rate of breathing in aquatic organisms is much faster than in terrestrial organism. Now the human respiratory system. See, in human respiratory system, lungs olaga, the deepest part of the lungs, we are having these balloon-like structures. This balloon-like structures we call it as what? Alveoli. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ? Alveoli ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ. See here, in human beings, air is taken into the body to nostrils. Nostrils means what? Nose. Okay, nose ಇಂದ ನಾವು ಒಳಗಡೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ? The oxygen ತಗೋತೀವಿ. Then the air passing through the nostril is filtered in the passage by fine airs and mucus. ಮೂಗಲ್ಲಿ ಏನದಾವ ಫೈನ್ ಏರ್ಗಳದಾವು and mucus ಐತಿ. So it will filter the entering air ಅನ್ನ filter ಮಾಡ್ತೈತಿ. From here the air passes through throat and into the lungs there is a rings of cartilage. So here there is a half what rings of cartilage. Yes, links of cartilage are present in the throat. This ensures that the air passage does not collapse. You yadu press agi collapse agbardu. So for that purpose, we will be having what? This links of cartilage. Within lungs, the passage divides into smaller and smaller tubes. So hang ಒಳಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀರಿ ಗಿಡದೊಳಗ. So it will divide into bronchs and bronchioles, and which finally terminate into a balloon-like structure. You can see this balloon-like structures you can find there inside the deepest part of the lungs. This is called as what? Alveoli. The alveoli provides a surface where the exchange of gases. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತೈತಿ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ exchange ಆಗ್ತೈತಿ. So how does yes ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತೈತಿ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಡೈಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೈತಿ ಹೊರಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೈತಿ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೈತಿ. See, you can see oxygen is taken in and carbon dioxide is given out. So inside this blood, the exchange of gases is happening inside the solenoid. The alveoli provides a surface where the exchange, again fixed question, alveoli. So alveoli ಮತ್ತು ವಿಲ್ಲಿ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಬಹಳ ಸಲ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟೈತಿ. ಸೊ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ alveoli and lungs ಏನೈತಲ್ಲ ಯಾರು ನೀವು alveoli ಮತ್ತು villi ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಬರಿಬೇಕು. See, the alveoli provides a surface area where exchange of gases can take place. The walls of alveoli contains an extensive network of blood vessels. Then breathing cycle, inspiration and expiration. Inspiration is taking in, breathing in. See, inspiration is an active intake of air from atmosphere into the lungs. When we breathe in, what will happen? We lift our ribs. The rib cage lift hagbirtiti and flatten our diaphragm, and chest cavity becomes what? Larger. As the pathway is from nose and nostril, nasal cavity, pharynx, voice box, larynx, trachea, bronchia, bronchioles, alveoli. Then breathing out, it is a passive expelling of air from the lungs. So usually we will expel we will expel out what? We will give out carbon dioxide. When the lungs exhale, the diaphragm releases and the volume of thoracic cavity decreases. As a result, lungs contract and air is forced out. So alveoli, bronchioles, bronchi, trachea, larynx, pharynx, nasal cavity, the ulta, breathe in the ulta bardra, nimgile breathe out band bidteti. This one you should know. Anish Belagaonkar, Divya R, yes, ಏನಾರ ಡೌಟ್ ಇತ್ತು ಕಮೆಂಟ್ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕೋದನ್ನು ಮರಿಬೇಡಿ ಡಿಯರ್. ಸೊ ನನಗೆ ಹೇಳಬೇಕು. Yes. See, in humans, the respiratory pigment is hemoglobin. Ellaru barkonbidri. Which is the respiratory pigment? 1 mark again. Fixed question. Which is the respiratory pigment? So barkonbidi. Which is the respiratory pigment? The respiratory pigment is hemoglobin. Last year 4 markiಗೆ hemoglobin ಬಗ್ಗೆನೇ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರು ಬಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. If you have read 2025 question paper, so you would have got to know what is the role of hemoglobin in the respiration process ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ರು. ಸೊ ನನಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ, how do you start with the answer? You should have known that in humans, the respiratory pigment is hemoglobin present in RBC, red blood cells, carries oxygen from lungs to different tissues of the body. Hemoglobin has more affinity towards the oxygen. Carbon dioxide is more soluble in water than in oxygen. Either kelbittidru, carbon dioxide is more soluble in water than in oxygen, and is mostly transported by plasma. Then comes very beautiful, everybody's favorite in Henry, big heart. So we will be studying up now what? Heart. Yes, Sushma Nayak, Ashish Belagaonkar, I hope you all are connecting everyone. Sakina Patan, yes dear. Numericals I'll be doing later dear. As soon as I finish up this, I'll be starting up with that only. Don't worry, alla madonu jasti fast hogodu bada. Okay, so next one. See, transportation in human beings. Blood is transporting media. It transports food, the oxygen, waste material in our bodies. Blood consists of fluid medium called plasma. So plasma ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಟೈಪ್ ಅದಾವು. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನೆನಪಿಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಮಾ ಐತಿ, RBC ರೆಡ್ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಅದಾವು, WBC that is white blood cells ಗಳು ಅದಾವು. So these are the parts you should able to know here. Sharana Baswa, yes dear, thank you. Next, blood consists of a fluid medium called plasma in which cells are suspended. Plasma carries. So, what is the function of plasma in the blood? So, ನಮ್ಮ blood ಅಲ್ಲಿ plasma ಏನ್ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತೈತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ, plasma ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೈತೆ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ? Plasma transports food, carbon dioxide and nitrogenous waste. So ಏನ್ ನೀವು ಫುಡ್ ತಿಂತೀರಿ, ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಡೈಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಇರ್ತೈತಿ, ನೈಟ್ರೋಜನಸ್ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಇರ್ತೈತಲ್ಲ, ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಕ್ಯಾರಿ ಮಾಡೋದನ್ನ ಕೆಲಸ ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಮಾ ಮಾಡ್ತೈತಿ. ಇನ್ ಡಿಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೀಸ್ ದ RBC. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ is having high affinity towards the hemoglobin and hemoglobin is red in color. So RBC ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. We need a pumping organ, heart. So pump ಮಾಡಕ್ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಏನ್ ಬೇಕು ಹೇಳ್ರಿ? ಪಂಪ್ ಅಂದ್ರ ಸೊ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತೈತಿ ಪಂಪಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡೋದು. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಪಂಪ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಮಾಡೋದು ಕೆಲಸ ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೈತಿ. ಟು ಪುಷ್ ದ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಅರೌಂಡ್ ದ ಬಾಡಿ, ಅ ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಫ್ ಟ್ಯೂಬ್ಸ್ ಅದಾವ್ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ವೆಸಲ್ಸ್ ಟು ರೀಚ್ ಆಲ್ ಟಿಶ್ಯೂಸ್. ಸೊ ಪಂಪಿಂಗ್ ಆರ್ಗನ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡ್ತು, ಇದು ಧಗ್ 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 ಅಂತೈತಿ. ಸೊ ವಿ ಶುಡ್ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಟು ವಾಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಹಾರ್ಟ್. And whenever you are studying heart ಅಲ್ಲ, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಹಾರ್ಟಿಗೆ ನೋಡಿದ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಯಾರು ನೆನಪು ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಹೇಳ್ರಿ? ಯು ಶುಡ್ ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ ವಾಟ್ ಲಾರ್ಡ್. ಸೊ ದೇವ್ರಿಗೆ ನೆನಪು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಲಾರ್ಡ್ ಶಿವ, ಲಾರ್ಡ್ ಗಣೇಶ. ಎಸ್, ಎಲ್ಲಾ ದೇವ್ರಿಗೆ ಕೈ ಮುಗಿದು ದೇವ್ರ ಹೆಸರು ತಗೊಂಡ ನೀವು ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ವಿತೌಟ್ ಟೇಕಿಂಗ್ ದ ನೇಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಲಾರ್ಡ್ ಯು ಕೆನಾಟ್. ಸೊ ನೀವು ದೇವ್ರ ಹೆಸರು ಬರ್ದ ಏನೈತಲ್ರಿ ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ಚಾಲು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಡಬಲ್ ಸರ್ಕ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ನೀವು ಕಲಿಯಂಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಯಾವಾಗ ನೀವು ಈದ್ ಕಲಿಯಾಕತ್ತೀರಿ ಹಾರ್ಟ್, ಸೊ ದೇವ್ರ ಹೆಸರು ಬರೀರಿ. ಸೊ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಯು ಶುಡ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ವಿತ್ ವಾಟ್? ಲಾರ್ಡ್ ಗಣೇಶ, ಲಾರ್ಡ್ ಶಿವ, ಎಲ್ಲ ದೇವ್ರ ಹೆಸರು ಬರದ ನೀವು ಏನೈತಿ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ದೇವ್ರ ಹೆಸರು ತಗೋರಿ. ಸೊ ಎದಕ್ ಬರಿಬೇಕಂದ್ರ ಸಿ ಲಾರ್ಡ್ ಒಳಗೆ ದೇವ್ರ ನಮ್ಗೆ ದಾರಿ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ, ದಾರಿ ದೀಪ. ಸಿ ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನೇಟೆಡ್, ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಏನೈತಲ್ರಿ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನೇಟೆಡ್, ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನೇಟೆಡ್ and right side deoxygenated. So this one you should know, right side deoxygenated blood. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ ಸೈಜ್ ಆಗ್ತೈತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನೀವು ದೇವ್ರ ಹೆಸರ್ಲೇನ ಬರಿಬೇಕು. ವಿತ್ ದ ನೇಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಲಾರ್ಡ್ ಗಣೇಶ, ಲಾರ್ಡ್ ಶಿವ, ಯು ಶುಡ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ದಿಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಐ ಹೋಪ್ ಯು ಆಲ್ ಆರ್ ಕನೆಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್. See here, the Lord, left side oxygenated and right side deoxygenated blood. So you will note the oxygenated blood from the lungs. So this is what left side oxygenated blood through the left atrium, left ventricles, through aorta. It will go to all body parts. From all body parts through superior and inferior vena cava, it will enter into the right atrium. This oxygenated blood, right ventricles, and through pulmonary artery it will again move for lungs for oxygenation. So like this ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಬೈ ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ಹೊಡಿಬೇಕು. ದೇವ್ರ ಹೆಸರು ತಗೊಂಡ ನೀವು ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಬರಿಬೇಕು, ಲಾರ್ಡ್ ಗಣೇಶ ಮತ್ತು ಲಾರ್ಡ್ ಶಿವ. ಓಕೆ, ಕಮಿಂಗ್ ಟು ದಿಸ್, ಮೊನ್ನೆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಸೆಪ್ಟಮ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರು, ಡಿವೈಡಿಂಗ್ ವಾಲ್. ಯು ಶುಡ್ ನೋ ಹೌ ಟು ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ದಿಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ದ ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಥರೋಲಿ. ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಅನ್ನ ಥರೋಲಿ ಮಾಡಲೇಬೇಕು. ಯು ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್ ಇಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಶೋ. See, the heart has 4 different chambers to prevent the oxygen-rich blood from the mixing with the blood containing CO2. Oxygen-rich blood from the lungs come to the thin-walled left atrium. The left atrium relaxes when it is collecting this blood. It then contracts while the next chambers, the left ventricle relaxes, so the blood is transferred to it. So deoxygenated blood, just now I explained, so same thing only you should write this. And you should know the function of walls here. See, walls ensure the blood does not flow backward. So namnalli ille bicuspid mattu tricuspid walls adav. You can see this is one wall. These are called walls. Walls andre yen hedi, they prevent the backflow of the heart diagram is important, but 90% brain diagram ಬರ್ತೈತಿ dear, because last year board exam ಅಲ್ಲಿ 3 exam ಅಲ್ಲಿ exam 1, exam 2, exam 3 ಅಲ್ಲಿ brain ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ. So I hope brain ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡ್ತೈತಿ. So focus more on theory questions. ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಬ್ರೇನ್ ಬೋತ್ ಬರಂಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು ಬರ್ತೈತಿ. ಸೊ ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ಬಂದ್ರೆ 4 ಮಾರ್ಕಿಗೆ ಬರ್ತೈತಿ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ದೊಡ್ಡದಿರ್ತೈತಿ. ಬ್ರೇನ್ ಬಂದ್ರೆ 3 ಮಾರ್ಕಿಗೆ ಬರ್ತೈತಿ. ಸೊ ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೋರಿ, ಹಾರ್ಟ್ you should practice much. Okay, now the walls ensure that the blood does not flow backward when the atria or ventricles contract. Then why we should have 4 chamber heart? Nam 4 chamber heart edak beku? Because yes, that is the question. Many times it has come. See here, the heart has 4 different chambers to prevent the oxygen-rich blood from mixing with the blood containing CO2. Such separation allows a highly efficient supply of oxygen to the body. This is useful in animals that have high energy needs, such as birds and mammals. Why? Because they are having 4 chamber hearts which constantly use the energy to maintain their body temperature. Such animals are called warm-blooded animals. In animals that do not use energy for this purpose, the body temperature depends upon temperature in the environment. Those animals we call it as cold-blooded animals. Okay. Yes, Lord Krishna heart is Lord Jagannatha. Excellent, dear. Lord Jagannatha, excellent. Very good. Now, like amphibians and reptiles, since they are 3-chamber heart and they tolerate some mixing the oxygenated and deoxygenated blood, fishes have only 2-chamber heart and the blood is pumped into the gills, is oxygenated there and passes directly to rest of the body. Thus, the blood goes only once through the heart in fish during one cycle. In vertebrates, it goes through the heart twice during each cycle. This is known as the blood goes through the heart twice. We call it as what? Double circulation. And ಎರಡು ಸಲ ಏನಾಯ್ತಲ್ರಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಬಾಡಿ ಒಳಗೆ ಅದು ಸರ್ಕ್ಯುಲೇಟ್ ಆಗ್ತೈತಿ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ? ಡಬಲ್ ಸರ್ಕ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನಾವಿಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. So just now I explained this how the double circulation works. Now we are having the arteries, difference between arteries, veins and capillaries. So that one you should be knowing here. Okay. So see, blood vessels, arteries are the vessels. Okay. So you should know arteries are vessels which carry the blood away from the heart. So how to remember now? Nange sir heli how to remember arteries. See, how to remember means A for arteries, A for away. So nenapidkori arteries. So how to remember now? Arteries mattu veins ba confuse ಆಗ್ತೈತಿ sir. ಹ್ಯಾಂಗ ನೆನಪಿಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು? So arteries mattu veins. How will you remember this? See, A for arteries, A for away. And vein olaga in aiti. See here, it is a in. See, arteries are the blood vessels. They will carry the blood away from the heart, whereas veins are the blood vessels. They will carry the blood into the heart. So like this you should remember arteries and veins. Arteries are the blood vessels. They will carry the blood away from the heart, whereas veins are the blood vessels. They will carry the blood away from the heart. So this one you should know. Arteries are the blood vessels which will carry the blood away from the heart to various organs. Since the blood emerges from the heart under high pressure, arteries have thick wall. So tell me, why do arteries have thick walls? So comment section alli nange haki heli. Because they are under high pressure. Okay. Similarly, veins collect the blood from different organs and bring it back to the heart. They do not need thick walls because blood is no longer under pressure. So veins do not need any walls, thin walls they have, because the blood is under no pressure. Okay. So electrolysis of water, action of metal on steam ಮತ್ತು pop sound diagram practice ಮಾಡಿ dear. Pop sound diagram has also come. Okay. Now inside they have walls that ensure the blood flows in one direction only. See, the arteries divide into smaller vessels to bring the blood in contact with all individual cells. The smallest vessels have walls which are one cell thick wall called capillaries. The exchange of materials between the blood and surrounding cells takes place across thin wall of capillary. These capillaries then join together to form veins that convey the blood away from the tissue or organ. Then leakage in the blood vessels lead to loss of pressure, which would reduce the efficiency of heart. To avoid this, blood has platelet cells. So blood alli ಏನದಾವ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ? Blood red cells. Then we circulate around the body and plug this leaks by helping to clot the blood at the point. So ಏನಾರ ನಮಗೆ ಹೊಡ್ತಾ ಬಿಟ್ಟು suddenly platelets burns attack ಆಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾವ, so that the blood leakage will not be there. Okay. So I hope you all are connecting, everyone. Yes. Then lymph. Lymph on the Nanapurkoli. This is again 1 mark question. Which is the colorless blood and Khatari? So everyone should remember this. colorless blood. So which is colorless blood? Colorless. So color irangilla. So ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಏನು but then too it is what? Blood. So ಇದಕ್ಕೆ colorless blood ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ we call it as what? Lymph. So which is colorless blood? Options ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರ ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೋರಿ, it is lymph. So lymph is what? Colorless blood. So everyone should write. Okay, so Namaste Sharana Baswa, tell me Aditya Guptapur, sir, take my name, I took here. Vibhishan, yes. Yes. I hope you all are connecting. See, the colorless blood is lymph. There is another fluid, type of fluid involved in transportation. It carries the digested and absorbed fat from intestine and drains excess fluid from extracellular spaces back into the blood. So the main function of this lymph is to digest what? Fats only. Though through the pores present in the walls of capillaries, some amount of plasma, proteins and blood cells escape into the intercellular spaces in the tissues to form tissue fluid or lymph. Then transportation in plant, many of them were asking, sir, tell me difference between xylem and phloem. Now difference between xylem and phloem we got here. Okay, see, plants have low energy needs and can use relatively slow transportation system compared to animals. See, because plants do not move, the plant bodies have large proportion of dead cells in many tissues. And plant comprises of transportation comprises of one is transportation of water and minerals by xylem tissue, and transportation of food, that is products of photosynthesis, by phloem tissue. So like this you should able to let me know the answer. See, transportation of water, it is carried out by xylem tissue. So transportation of water ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗ್ತೈತೆ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ? Xylem. Evaporation in leaf creates a suction pressure. ನೋಡಿಲ್ಲ, xylem tissue suction pressure which pulls the water from xylem cells of root. The loss of water in the form of vapor from aerial parts of the plant body is known as transpiration. Again, one marking, what is transpiration? Exam ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ, so ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಬರಿಬೇಕು what is transpiration. The loss of water in the form of water vapor, we call it as what? Transpiration. ನಾವಿಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. Then role of transpiration. So what is the function of transpiration? Transpiration ಎದಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಕು? Do you think it is important? Yes, dear. See, transpiration helps in absorption and upward movement of water and minerals dissolved in it from roots to the leaves. It helps in temperature regulation. ಗೆ ನಮಗೆ ಬೇಕು. Then transportation of food, as I said, transportation of food is carried out through whom? It is through phloem tissue. ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೋರಿ, transportation is carried out through phloem tissue. Products of photosynthesis are moved from leaves to other parts of the plant. The transportation of soluble product of photosynthesis is called translocation. Again, difference between transpiration and translocation is very much important. So transpiration ಮತ್ತು translocation ಏನೈತಲ್ರಿ ಬಹಳ important. These substances are especially delivered to the storage organs of root, fruits and seeds and to the growing organs. The translocation of food and other substances takes place in sieve tubes with the help of adjacent companion shells in both upward and downward direction. The translocation in phloem is achieved by utilizing energy, increases the osmotic pressure of tissue, causes the movement of food material. Then comes the last part, excretion. So you should know the diagram of this one, that is nephron. Fix exam ಅಲ್ಲಿ nephron diagram ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ. Okay, so yes, fast ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ nephron diagram practice ಮಾಡಲೇಬೇಕು. See, excretion means what? It is a process in which a harmful metabolic nitrogenous waste, ಏನ್ nitrogenous waste ಇರ್ತೈತಲ್ರಿ, that one nitrogenous waste ಏನಿರ್ತೈತಲ್ಲ, harmful nitrogenous waste like urea and uric acid generated are removed from the body. Our body in the ಏನೈತಲ್ರಿ ರಿಮೂವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ತೆಗಿತಾರೆ. Such a process we call it as what? Excretion ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನಾವಿಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವಿ. Okay, so yes, excretory system of humans includes of this you can see ಎರಡು ಕಿಡ್ನಿಗಳು ಅದಾವು, then one urinary bladder ಐತಿ where the urine is stored, then ಎರಡು ureters ಅದಾವು, and then there is one urethra. See, each kidney consists of many filtration units. We call it as nephrons. So nephron exam ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ nephron diagram practice ಮಾಡಲೇಬೇಕು. This is the fixed question. nephron fix ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ exam ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ. See, nephron are basic filtration units of kidneys. They carry out filtration, selective absorption and tubular secretion. So ಇದರ diagram ಎಷ್ಟು ಚಂದಾಗಿ ಅಂದಾಗೆ ಐತಿ, ಹಿಂಗೆ exam ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿಡಿಸಬೇಕು. And in model question paper also they have given similar diagram only. So ಇದನ್ನ exam ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಮಾಡಿ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ಅಂಕಗಳನ್ನು ಪಡಿಬೇಕು. Yes, I hope you all are connecting this one. It is a fixed question. Then a nephron is made up of a cluster of thin-walled capillaries called glomerulus, which is associated with cup-like structure called Bowman's capsule. The capsule has a long tube which terminates into collecting duct. Now, urine formation involves 3 steps: glomerulus filtration, then tubular secretion, ಮತ್ತು tubular reabsorption ಮತ್ತು secretion. So this is how you should able to write. So glomerular filtration, nitrogenous waste ಆಯ್ತು, glucose, water, amino acids filter from the blood into Bowman's capsule. All the useful substances, these headings you should write. And useful substances from filtrate are reabsorbed back by capillaries into the surrounding nephron. Then urea, extra water and salts are secreted in the tubule which opens up into the collecting duct and then into ureter. Finally, each ureter drains the urine in the urinary bladder where it is stored until the pressure of expanded bladder leads to urge to pass it out through the urethra. Then the amount of water reabsorbed depends on what? How much excess of water is there. So ಎಷ್ಟು ನೀರು ಇರ್ತೈತಲ್ರಿ ಅಷ್ಟು ಯೂರಿನ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗ್ತೈತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Then how much nitrogenous waste, ಎಷ್ಟು waste ಅಂತ ತೆಗಿಬೇಕು, that depends upon the formation of urine only. Okay, then excretion in plants. See, the plants get rid of gaseous products through stomata in leaves and lenticels in stem. The plants gets rid of stored solid and liquid waste by shedding of leaves. So again, this is excretion in plant. 4 markiಗೆ fix question. So ಬಹಳ ಸಲ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಪತ್ರಿಕೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ನೋಡುದಂತ ಒಂದು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ, explain the excretion in plants, fix question. So everyone should write this thoroughly. Okay, plants get rid of waste by secreting them in the form of gums and resins in the old xylem. Plants also excrete some water, waste substance in soil around them. So with that, we will come down to the next chapter. So the next chapter is which one? Control and coordination. So ಎಲ್ಲರೂ control ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಮತ್ತು coordinate ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. Control and coordination. Okay, so yes, Sharana Basua, I got your point here. Florence, sir, help me in science. 70 plus aram tagotidi here. So I'll take 2 minutes break. So ellaru enaiti in 2 minutes again you should come back. Okay, so I'll be starting with so now we will be starting up with what? Now we will be starting up with the most important, that is control and coordination in animals. I'll be starting. So ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಪೆನ್ ತಗೋರಿ, ಬುಕ್ ತಗೋರಿ, ನಾ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೇನು ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಕತ್ತೀನಿ ಪಟಾಪಟ ಬರ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಓಕೆ, see, control and coordination is completely related to the brain and its functions. So everyone should compulsory move on with to what? The solutions related to the control and coordination. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ 3 ಮಾರ್ಕಿಗೆ yes, all the concepts will get. So I'll write ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಏನೇನು ಬರ್ತೈತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಬರೆದ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ so that you can able to study this. See, from control and coordination you will get what? Total 6 marks, 3 question, 1 mark 1 question, 2 mark 1 question and 3 mark 1 question. See, 1 mark 1 question ಬರ್ತೈತಿ, 2 mark you will get 1 question and 3 mark 1 question. This 3 mark question 90% it will come brain diagram only. ಇದೊಳಗೆ brain diagram ಐತಲ್ರಿ ಅದ ಬರ್ತೈತಿ. ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲಾರು ನೆನಪು ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು, that brain diagram you should practice thoroughly, and heart diagram. But if heart comes for 4 mark. If brain comes for 3 marks. So make sure you should practice both thoroughly, but 90% considering last year question paper. So I have seen all the last year question paper, right? Keeping that in mind, biology easy, I think so. It is very easy there if you study properly. Now see, 1 mark 1 question, 2 mark 1 question, and 3 mark 1 question will get. Now need for control and coordination. See, control and coordination in animals. First animals we are having what? Nervous system, that is brain and spinal cord, that one will be studying up. See, an organism needs control and coordination. What is the need for control and coordination ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಐತಿ. ಎದಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಕು control and coordination ನಮಗೆ ಎದಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಕಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಐತಿ. So that one we will be studying up now. Yadak bakery, sir, waiting for your reply. Tell whether it's right to that activize and passivize, that is over there. You have written partially correct. You will get some marks there, not entirely correct. It is okay. I got to your point. Then Avinash is there, Nagamurti. Any doubt ittu comment section alli hakodannu maribadi dear. Okay, sir, did you had your lunch? No dear. Sir, how to make it fun? Biology. See dear, biology is not boring dear. You should read and revise. It is full of theory, so you should understand, revise thoroughly and practice thoroughly dear. That is the one thing you can do with what? Biology. Say an organism needs control and coordination system to save the body of organism from harmful changes. In the sudden harmful change we need control and coordination to control the speed of voluntary and involuntary action, to have capability to think and learn for responding to any stimuli. See, control and coordination is brought about in all animals with the help of two main systems. We are having nervous system and endocrine system. Nervous system is brain and spinal cord, and endocrine system is we will be having what? We will be having the hormones here. Okay, animal hormones will be studying up. See, nervous system, it is a system of conducting tissues that receives stimulus and transmit it to other parts of the body, forming a network of nerves. It involves in receiving the information and generating responses to that particular response. So all information from our environment, ನಮ್ಮ environment ಇಂದ ನಾವು ಏನು ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸ್ ತಗೋತೇವಲ್ರಿ, is detected by specialized cells. So you can see these are called receptors. Gustatory receptors, they are present in our tongue, so we call it as taste receptor. Then detect smell is olfactory receptor, detect sound is phonoreceptor, then detect light is photoreceptor, detect heat and cold is what? We will be having thermoreceptor. So you will be studying all the receptors here thoroughly. Yes, Divya, surprise, chessboard, Aitu, Pratik, Sumuk. Yes dear, I hope everyone understood. Sid Patel is here, excellent. See, the structural and functional units which make up the nervous system are called nerve cell or neuron. Nenapidukori, nerve cell or neuron meaning is what? The structural and functional unit of nervous system. The structural ಮತ್ತು functional unit of nervous system, that is our brain and spinal cord, we call it as what? Neuron. And this neuron entire parts you should know, because in exam they will ask ABCD. See, dendrite, this thread-like structure what we see here, it is called as dendrite. This is called soma, and the long thread is called as axon, mammalian sheath, and this is nerve ending. Okay, so next one you can see cell body. What is the function of cell body? You can just see here, it is a star shaped which contains nucleus and abundant cytoplasm. The information acquired by it travels as an electrical impulse. Similarly, the dendrite, the hair-like structures protruding out from the margins of cell body. Axon is the longest fiber, and mammalian sheath is an insulator. It will protect the axon. So axon is prevent madaki, protect madaki nambeku. Synapse is also very important. See, synapse is the point of contact between the nerve end of one neuron and dendrite of another neuron, or it is a very small gap. One small gap which is between dendrite of one neuron and the axon of another neuron. It is the part where electrical impulse is converted into chemical signal. So what happens at synapse ka the M33? It is a point where electrical signal is converted into functional thing. The structure and functional unit of kidney is nephron. Yes, very good, Sharana Baswa. You gave the right answer. The structural and functional unit of kidney is nephron. The structural and functional unit of our nervous system is neuron. So this one you should be able to write. Excellent, Avinash Kumar, very good. Now, the pathway of nerve impulse, it is an information in the form of chemical and electrical signals passing through neurons. These impulses are carried away by dendrites towards the cell body. So you should know dendrite aiti, cell body aiti, axon aiti, nerve ending, synapse, dendrite of next neuron. Now reflex action. Reflex action is a quick, sudden, involuntary response. We call it as what? We call it as reflex action. Example, withdrawal of hand on touching the object. Reflex arc. So this is the reflex arc through which the nerve impulse passes through reflex action. And the site of reflex action is spinal cord. Again, 1 mark question, everyone should know. The site of reflex action is which one? It is nothing but spinal cord. So this is the figure you should by heart. First you should know the receptors. Here it is the skin, sensory neuron, then spinal cord, relay neuron, motor neuron got effector. This question has come many times in the objectives. Write the sequence through which the electrical impulse flows. Then we are having 3 types of responses. One is voluntary response controlled by forebrain, talking, writing and walking. Involuntary response controlled by midbrain and hindbrain, heartbeat, vomiting, respiration. Then reflex action is controlled by spinal cord, withdrawal of hand on touching the hot object. Then need for reflex action. See, now reflex action edak beku. See, in some situations such as touching a hot object, pinching, we need to act quickly. Otherwise, the body will get harmed. Nam yara bandu harm maadbidtare. Nam body harm agbardu. Hence, this response is generated from spinal cord instead of brain. Then human nervous system malli brain aiti. This brain diagram everyone's exam malli fix banbitide. Everyone should by heart this. See, this leaf-like structure we call it as cerebellum, and pons, medulla mattu cerebellum manne exam alli pons banbitittu. So everyone should know where the correct location of pons is. This question is important. Then human brain is the main coordinating center of the body. The brain is protected by, so which part of the body protects the brain? It is called skull. Sculling mattond hesaru enaitalri, the cranium. It has 3 major parts, that is forebrain, this is midbrain, this is hindbrain. In Kannada we call hind. Hind andre enri hindgade, so hindbrain. So nodi Kannada science like hanga translate ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Here you can see ಹಿಂದ್ ಬ್ರೇನ್, ಹಿಂದಿದ್ದಂಥ ಬ್ರೈನಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಹಿಂಡ್ ಬ್ರೈನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಓಕೆ, now forebrain, it is the most complex and specialized part of the brain. It consists of cerebrum. So the main function of cerebrum, so the highest part of the cerebrum you should write here. See, it is the main thinking part of brain. It controls voluntary actions by writing, reading, then dancing, cooking. All those will be controlled by yes, you can see here voluntary. Stores information, so it is like a memory card. All the information will be stored in the brain. Then receives sensory impulse from various parts of the body and integrate it. It is a center associated with hunger. Then midbrain controls all the involuntary activities. Okay, then you can see the hindbrain. So hesarig now ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ ಹಿಂದ ಐತಿ brain. It is having 3 parts. First one is cerebellum, medulla ಮತ್ತು pons. So ಮೂರು ನೀವು ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. Cerebellum controls body balance and posture, the way how you sit, the way how you stand. That body balance ಮತ್ತು posture ನ control ಮಾಡೋದು cerebellum. Then medulla controls involuntary actions like blood pressure, vomiting, respiration, salivation, etc. And pons control the voluntary actions and helps in regulation of respiration. That one you should highlight here related to pons. Okay, then endocrine system, we will be having what endocrine, we call it as hormones. So ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ total 6 hormones ಗಳದಾವು. ಎಲ್ಲ hormones ಅನ್ನ ನೀವು ಪದ್ಧಶ್ರೀ ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಬೇಕು. See, hormones are chemical messengers secreted in very small quantity, and they are specialized tissues called endocrine or ductless glands. they act on target tissues or organs usually away from their source. So first one we are having pituitary gland. It secretes a hormone called growth hormone. And pituitary gland, which hormone? It secretes a hormone called growth hormone. Fix you glands related a question ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾವು ಎಲ್ಲ glands ಅದ ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್ ಅದಾವ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಬರಿಬೇಕು and one function you should write them. First one is pituitary gland growth hormone. ಹೆಸರಲ್ಲಿ growth ಐತಿ, it helps in growth and development of the body. Then ಇದು ಸೀಕ್ರೆಟ್ ಆಗೇ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಇನ್ ಡೆಫಿಷಿಯನ್ಸಿ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್. ಈಗ ಸಪೋಸ್ ಗ್ರೋತ್ ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್ ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಅವ್ರು ಈಟೇ ಇರ್ತಾರ್ರಿ, ಸೊ ಕುಳ್ಳ ಆಗಿ ಅವ್ರು ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗೇನೆ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಇಟ್ ಲೀಡ್ಸ್ ಟು ಡಿಸ್ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಡಾರ್ಫಿಸಮ್. ಅವರು ಬೆಳಂಗೆಲ್ಲ ಇಷ್ಟೇ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಫೇಮಸ್ ಯೂಟ್ಯೂಬರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಜ್ಯೋತಿ ಆಮ್ಗೆ. ಶಿ ಇಸ್ ದ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್. ಓಕೆ, ಶಿ ಇಸ್ ದ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಲೇಡಿ ಇನ್ ದ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್. She is the shortest girl in the world, not only in India, in entire world. So she is suffering from disorder called dwarfism because the growth hormone ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ particular age ಅಲ್ಲಿ ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಆಗೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ಲಿ ಓವರ್ ಸಿಕ್ರೇಷನ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ದೀಪಾವಳಿಗೆ ಏನೈತ್ರಿ ಕ್ಲೀನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆನೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ನಿಂತಲ್ಲಿ ಫ್ಯಾನ್ ಸೀಲಿಂಗ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕ್ಲೀನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ದ ಟಾಲೆಸ್ಟ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಈಸ್ ಹೂಮ್ ಯು ಟೆಲ್ ದ ಸ್ಮಾಲೆಸ್ಟ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಈಸ್ from Afghanistan is Sultan, Turkey, sorry, he is from Turkey. His name is what? Sultan ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಒಬ್ರು ಅದಾರ್ರಿ, ನೀವು ಗೂಗಲ್ದಾಗ ಹೊಡೀರಿ ಚಂದಾಗಿ ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು. He is suffering from disorder called gigantism or extremely tall. Then thyroid, which secretes a hormone called thyroxine, and it regulates carbohydrate, protein and fat metabolism in the body so as to provide best balance for growth. Iodine is essential for synthesis of thyroxine. In case of iodine, its deficiency in our diet, there is a possibility that we may suffer from goiter. Goiter ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಹೇಳಿ swelling of neck ಆಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತದೆ, neck region swell ಆಗ್ತೈತಿ. So it is important for us to have what? Iodized salt in our diet. ನಮ್ಮ diet ಅಲ್ಲಿ iodized salt ಇರೋದು ಬಹಳ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. Then adrenal gland, it secretes a hormone called what? Adrenaline hormone ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನಾವು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. And this hormone is also called fight flight emergency hormone. Fight, fright and flight hormone or emergency hormone because it prepares our body during scary situation. ಒಮ್ಮೆಕ್ಲೆ ಒಂದು ಗಾಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲನ್ ಬರಾಕತ್ತೈತಿ, ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ ಆಗಿ ಬಂತು, ನೀವು ಹೆದರ್ ಬಿಡ್ತೀರಿ. ಆ ಹೆದರ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ನಮ್ಗೊಂದು ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್ ಬೇಕು. ವಿ ಶುಡ್ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಟು ಅಡ್ರೆನಲಿನ್ ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್. ಅಂಡ್ ಅಡ್ರೆನಲಿನ್ ಸೀಕ್ರೆಟ್ ಆದಾಗ ಏನಾಗ್ತೈತಿ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ, ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಸೀಕ್ರೆಟ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ದ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಕ್ಯಾರಿ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್. ಆಸ್ ಎ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ ನಮ್ದು ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ಬೀಟ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗ್ತೈತಿ. ದೆನ್ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಬಹಳ ಸ್ವೆಟ್ ಬರ್ತೈತಿ. ದೆನ್ ಮೋರ್ oxygen is supplied to our legs so that we can escape from the situation. And all these responses together unavailable body to ready to deal with the situation. Then the third one is pancreas. Pancreas ನಮ್ಗೆ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಶುಗರ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೈತಿ. ಅಂಡ್ ಶುಗರ್ ಪೇಷಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾರಲ್ರಿ, ಡಯಾಬಿಟಿಸ್ ಅಂತ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ. ಯಾರು ಹೇಳಿ? ಪ್ಯಾಂಕ್ರಿಯಾಸ್. Pancreas gland is dual in nature as it is both exocrine and endocrine gland. It is called as mixed gland and it secretes a hormone called insulin. This hormone regulates the blood sugar level. ನಿಮ್ದು ರಕ್ತ ಒಳಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಶುಗರ್ ಇರ್ಬೇಕಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಯಾರು ಹೇಳ್ರಿ? We will be seeing the this pancreas. If it is not secreted in proper amount, the sugar level in blood rises causing diabetes. ಟು ಟ್ರೀಟ್ ಡಯಾಬಿಟೀಸ್ ನಾವು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಹೇಳ್ರಿ? ಡಯಾಬಿಟೀಸ್ ಇಂಜೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಅನ್ನ ತಗೋತಾ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇವತ್ತು ಮಲ್ಕೋತೀರಿ, ನಾಳೆ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀರಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಅದಾಗಬಾರ್ದಂದ್ರೆ ಇಂಜೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಪದ್ಧತಿ ತಗೋಲೇಬೇಕು. Then to treat increased level of blood sugar level, the diabetic patients are given the injection of insulin injection ಅವರಿಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಓಕೆ, ನೆನಪಿಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೇಬೇಕು. Then sex hormones, testosterone in males and estrogen in females bring changes associated with puberty. Testosterone is secreted by testes and promotes appearance of male sex character like deepening of voice, growth of armpits, chest and pubic hair. And testosterone promotes the production of sperms. So ಎಷ್ಟು ಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡೋರು ಯಾರು ಹೇಳ್ರಿ? ಅದು ಟೆಸ್ಟೋಸ್ಟೆರಾನ್ ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್, ಅದು ಟೆಸ್ಟಿಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಓಕೆ, ದೆನ್ Next, you can see estrogen. Estrogen, we can see it is only present in the female by ovary. The secretes and promotes appearance of female sex character like enlargement of breast and erection of nipples, growth of body hair, most prominently underarms and pubic hair, widening of hips. Estrogen promotes the production of eggs and regulates menstrual cycles. Okay, this one you should be by hearting. Then feedback mechanism, the excess or over of the excess or deficiency of hormones have harmful effect. So the timing and amount of hormone release are regulated a feedback mechanism. So what is feedback mechanism ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಬರೀಬೇಕು ಎಷ್ಟು ಟೈಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು secretion activity, that we call it as feedback mechanism. For example, if the sugar level in the blood rise, namda rakta olaga sugar level rise aitu, they are detected by cells of pancreas which respond by producing more insulin. As the blood sugar level falls, insulin secretion is reduced. Then control and coordination in plants. See, plants kai irangilla, kaal irangilla, avuru juna ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, and plants respond and react to the changes that happen in the environment around them. The changes in the environment to which plant respond and react are called stimuli such as light, gravity, chemicals, touch, etc. Then tropic movement, it is a directional growth movement of plant organ in response to external stimulus. Growth towards the stimulus is positive tropism and growth away from the stimulus is negative tropism. So we are having two. One is growth independent movement and growth dependent movement ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಎರಡು ಅದಾವು. ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಎರಡನ್ನು ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೇಬೇಕು. Okay, so here you see these are the directionless movement. Growth independent ಅಂದ್ರೆ touch me not plant ನೋಡ್ರಿ ಗ್ರೋ ಆಗಂಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ ನೀವು ಟಚ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಲೀಫ್ ಏನೈತಿ ಫೋಲ್ಡ್ ಆಗ್ತಾವ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಗ್ರೋತ್ ಇಂಡಿಪೆಂಡೆಂಟ್ ಮೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಸನ್ಫ್ಲವರ್, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ವಾಟ್ ಗ್ರೋತ್ ಇಂಡಿಪೆಂಡೆಂಟ್ ಮೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಸೊ ಅದು ಹಿಂಗ ಸನ್ ಹೆಂಗೈತಲ್ರಿ ಹಂಗ ರೊಟೇಟ್ ಹಾಕೊಂತ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತೈತಿ. See, these are directionless movement of plant caused due to variation in the outside environment. Folding or drooping of leaves of touch me not plant on touching it, this is known as stigmotropism ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನಾವಿಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಡ್ತೇವೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ some cells must change shape in order for movement to happen. Cells change their shape by changing the amount of water in them, resulting in swelling or we call it as what? Shrinking. Growth dependent movement means what? Growth agakattavu and mono agakattavu. Example, phototropism. See, growth movement plant towards light. See, photo means light, tropism is movement. Growth of plant parts in response to what? Light, we call it as phototropism. Example, shoot. So this shoot on theory, the one which will grow above the land, we call it as shoot. See, shoot bends towards the light, positive tropism, and where has roots moved with gravity, we call it as negative phototropism. Similarly, geotropism is movement towards gravity. The growth of plant parts gravity le avu enagtavellri grow aagtavu. Okay, so roots of a plants are positively geotropic while shoots are negatively geotropic. Then chemotropism, movement towards chemicals. So chemicals le ಏನು ಮೂವ್ ಆಗ್ತಾವಲ್ರಿ ನಾವು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನಂತೀವಿ, we call it as chemotropism. Example, growth of pollen tube towards ovules. And hydrotropism means movement towards water, movement of plant root towards water, it is positively hydrotropism. Then we are having these plant hormones. See, you know, auxins, gibberellins, cytokinins, abscisic acid. So these are the things you should be knowing. See, hormones which helps to coordinate growth, development and response to the environment are called plant hormones. Auxins. So what is the function of auxins? Synthesized at the shoot tip, helps the plant to grow longer, involved in tropic movement of plant. This one is fixed. Auxins example ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ auxins ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೇಬೇಕು. Okay, so I hope you all are connecting. Thank you so much dear for so much love, so and affection, everything. Now next one, gibberellins helps in growth of stem. Cytokinins, cytokinin, C for cytokinin, C for cell division. ಇದ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೋರಿ. ಈ ಐದರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಫಿಕ್ಸ್: ಆಕ್ಸಿನ್ಸ್, ಗಿಬ್ಬರ್ಲಿನ್ಸ್, cytokinins, abscisic acid. You should remember this. Then abscisic acid is the one which inhibit the growth, which slow down the growth. That growth agaka bidangilla, causes wilting of leaves. Then auxins hang work ಆಗ್ತಾವು. What is the role of auxin? This one is fixed. ಎಲ್ಲರೂ auxin ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೇಬೇಕು. So this is a fixed question. When growing plants detect light, a hormone called auxin synthesized at the shoot tip helps the cell to grow longer. When light is coming from one side of the plant, auxin diffuses towards the shady side of the shoot. This concentration of auxin stimulates the cell to grow longer on the side of the shoot, which is away from the light. Thus, plant it bends towards the, so the auxins they will always grow on the shady part. So this one you should know that always the auxins grow on the shady part. Then role of auxins in growth of the tendril. When the tendril comes in contact with support, auxins stimulate faster growth of the cells on opposite side. Light ille barakatti ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ auxins ಏನೈತಲ್ರಿ on the opposite side. That's what tendril form a coil. So tendrils are a supportive, so they grow in the form of the circle. So this is very important. Auxins fixed bartiri. Sharana Baswa, thank you so much dear for so much love and affection. Yes, thank you dear. So yeah, now coming to the next chapter, that is which one? How do organisms reproduce? Everyone's favorite chapter and very easy chapter is reproduction. So now if I don't tell much also, you people are pro alla ultra pro adiri. I'll just mention what is there in syllabus. Anyhow, one of the most easy, most helpful chapter is biology. Yeah, chapter help ಆಗ್ತಿತ್ತು ಇಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. This chapter will be very much helpful for your future. So ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಈ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಅನ್ನ ಭಾಳ ಡೀಪ್ ಆಗಿ ತಿಳ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂದಾಗಿ ಚಂದಾಗಿ ಬರಿಬೇಕು. 5 mark question will come from this chapter only. So ಈ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಇಂದ ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗಳು ಬರ್ತಾವು ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡಿ. See, reproduction in the 1 mark 2 question and 5 mark 1 question. So 5 mark question will come from adu 5 mark question orally bartiti. So I'll be telling which all questions. Sharana Baswa, thank you so much dear. I found a big heart to Sharana Baswa here. Very happy to see you here. See here, you will get 2 mark 1 question, 2 mark ಗೆ sorry 1 mark ಗೆ 2 ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗಳು, 1 MCQ you will get and 1 mark 1 question. And you will get 5 mark 1 question from this only. So adu orally bartiti. Sub questions gal bartav ABC. Everyone should know this. So direct question will come. So preparatory ಓದಂತ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗಳನ್ನು ನೀವು ಅಂದಾಗಿ ಚಂದಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಲೇಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ. Okay, so I hope everyone are understanding. If you are finding this discussion helpful, put the thumbs up in the comment section below. Vegetative propagation, yes dear, orally vegetative propagation barditi. Ondaರಲ್ಲಿ asexual mode of reproduction ಬರ್ತು, orally sexual mode of reproduction barditi. So 5 mark 2 question ಗಳು ಬರ್ತಾವು. Sexual or asexual, sexual mode of reproduction or asexual mode of reproduction you will get. Okay, so all the things we will be discussing. First reproduction ಎದಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಕು, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ asexual mode of reproduction ನಾವು ಮೊದಲಿಗೆ ನೋಡೋಣ. Okay, ದಿವ್ಯಾ, ಮೊಹಮ್ಮದ್ ನವಾಜ್, thank you dear, a big heart to everyone. So ಯಾರೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಕತ್ತೀರಿ, a big salute and big thanks to everyone. Thank you dear, thank you. Yes, coming to the next one, reproduction is a process by which living organism produce new individual. ಅವರು ತಮ್ಮ ಸಂತತಿಗೆ, ಅವರು ತಮ್ಮ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಜನ್ಮ ಕೊಡುವ ಕ್ರಿಯೆ. ಇಟ್ ಎನ್ಶ್ಯೂರ್ಸ್ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಟಿ ಆಫ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಆನ್ ಅರ್ತ್. ಸೊ ರೀಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾವ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ, you will not be having what continuity of life. So life continue ಹಾಕೊಂತ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ನಮಗೆ ಏನ್ ಬೇಕು ಹೇಳ್ರಿ, reproduction ಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲ ನೆನಪಿಡ್ಕೋರಿ, reproduction is very important. Okay, so you should able to know now. See, chromosomes in the nucleus of a cell contain information. So ಎಲ್ಲ information ಎಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ. ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, so that it is given from parent to next generation, generation to generation ಅದು ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಫ್ಲೋ ಹಾಕೊಂತ ಇರಬೇಕು. And basic event is for photosynthesis, in reproduction is what? Creation of DNA copy. So DNA copy ಆಗ್ತೈತಿ and from generation to generation it will be forwarded. Okay, that one we should know. The process of copying of DNA will have some variation each time. As a result, the DNA copies generated will be similar but may not be identical to original. Therefore, this inbuilt tendency for variation during reproduction is basis for evolution. So, the reproduction of the main ಹೇಳ್ರಿ ಅದು evolution ಆಗಬೇಕು. Then importance of variation. Variation ಎದಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಕು? All organisms are living in particular niche. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹ್ಯಾಬಿಟೇಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಡಾಕತ್ತಾರೆ. ಇಫ್ ದ ನೀಚ್ ವಿಯರ್ ಡ್ರಾಸ್ಟಿಕಲಿ ಆಲ್ಟರ್ ದ ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಆರ್ಗನಿಸಮ್ ಕುಡ್ ಬಿ ವೈಪ್ಡ್ ಔಟ್. ಸೊ ವೇರಿಯೇಷನ್ ಇನ್ ಫ್ಯೂ ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ ಇನ್ ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ ದೇರ್ ವುಡ್ ಬಿ ಸಮ್ ಚಾನ್ಸ್ them to survive. Variation is useful for species over time. So bacteria living in temperate waters, and if the water temperature were to be increased by global warming, most of the bacteria ಏನಾಗ್ತೈತೆ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ ಸತ್ತು ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ. So that one you should know. Then the few variant resistance to heat would survive and grow further. Then types of reproduction, we are having two types of reproduction. One is sexual mode of reproduction, the other one is asexual. Again a fixed question you should know. See, asexual mode of reproduction, a single organism ಒಬ್ಬರೇ ಇರ್ತಾರ್ರಿ, ಅವರು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, reproduce to give new individual. Here two individuals are compulsory needed. The one who gives the germ cell male and the one who accepts the germ cell female are needed to give rise to new individual. Compulsory ಎರಡು ಬೇಕೇ ಬೇಕು. You don't be having other option. Gametes are not formed, gametes are formed. New individuals are identical to their parents. Here they are genetically similar but not identical. Asexual reproduction is seen in most of the lower organism and plants adopted by higher organism. Then mode of asexual reproduction. So remember there are two. That's why there are 6 total. First one is fission. It is of two types, binary ಮತ್ತು multiple fission ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಬರ್ತೈತಿ. So everyone should know that binary ಮತ್ತು multiple fission ಏನದ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ತಿಳ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. See, binary fission, it is a cell division of one cell into two similar or identical cell. The nucleus first divides automatically. First ಏನಾಗ್ತೈತಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ nucleus divide ಆಗ್ತೈತಿ and followed by the division of cytoplasm divide ಆಯ್ತು. Then it will split into two daughter cells and they will get separated. Example is amoeba. Example, amoeba and Lashminia exactly 2.5 ಆಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾವು. Okay, see, in organisms such as amoeba, the splitting of two cells during cell division can take place at any plane. Binary fission in amoeba. However, some unicellular organisms show somehow variation from their body, as you seen in the Leishmania. See, first one cell into avele ಎರಡು nucleus ಆಯ್ತು, nucleus separate ಆಯ್ತು, body divide and body will get separated. So you can see multiple fission. You can see in plasmodium, very important. Again, multiple fission plasmodium ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದು ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ. Kiran Kannadiga, sir, my name. Okay, Kiran Kannadiga. Yes, dear. Nice to see you. Yes, thank you, Divya. See, in multiple fission, many individuals are formed from a single individual. Plasmodium, you can see the example. The nucleus divides repeatedly, producing many nuclei. Many daughter cells are formed. So fragmentation, spirogyra ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೋರಿ. ಈ fragmentation ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲರ ಕಟ್ ಆತಲ್ರಿ, automatically it will get cut and it will grow into a new individual. Fragment means a piece. Okay, see, it takes place in multicellular organisms with simple body organization such as spirogyra. In this, the body breaks up into two or more small pieces of fragment upon maturation. These fragments go into new individual. Or one fragment ಏನೈತಲ್ಲ new individual ಅಲ್ಲಿ grow ಆಗ್ತೈತಿ. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ regeneration in planaria, ಇದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿತ್ತು. I hope everyone have done this. ಬಹಳ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆದ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ. See, ಇಲ್ಲಿ planaria ಐತಿ, somebody cuts it, it will grow into new organism. See, it is the ability of a fully differentiated organism to give rise to new individual organism from its body part, small cut or broken parts of organism they will regenerate. Okay. Then budding in Hydra again, this question has come in your previous preparatory. I hope everyone have managed to write this one. Yes, see in budding, small part of body of parent grows out as a bud. ಇಲ್ಲಿ small one bud grow ಆಗ್ತೈತಿ, ಆ bud grow ಆಗಿ automatically it will detach. Okay, that is called budding. Spore formation. See, spores are small bulb-like structures which are covered by thick walls. Unfavorable conditions ಒಳಗೆ grow ಆಗ್ತಾವು. Example, rhizopus. Vegetative propagation. See, in many plants, new plantlets develop from vegetative parts of the body, from stem, root, and leaves. This one fixed question ಬರ್ಕೋರಿ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಲ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರಿಪರೇಟರಿ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಂತ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ 5 ಮಾರ್ಕಿಗೆ ಸಿ ಎ ಬಿ ಸಿ ಒಳಗೆ ಇದು ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್. So everyone a big heart to this. Advantages of vegetative propagation exam alli ಬಂದು ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ. Everyone write it down. See, fixed question is this: advantages of vegetative propagation. See, seedless plant can be grown by this method. Plants produced by layering and grafting can bear flowers and fruits earlier those produced from the seeds. Plants produced from this method are genetically similar. It is a cheaper, easier and more rapid method of plant propagation. Then sexual reproduction ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡ್ತು finally. See, the sexual mode of reproduction incorporates a process of combining DNA. So ಎರಡು DNA दो दिल मिल रहे हैं मगर चुपके so दो दिल मिलके reproduction नहीं होता. So in order to happen reproduction, two DNA should meet, two genes what to meet. So the sexual mode of reproduction incorporate what combination of DNA ಎರಡು DNA ಕೂಡಿ ಎರಡು genes ಕೂಡಿ baby ಆಗ್ತೈತಿ, not दो दिल मिलके. Okay, so very beautiful song but very beautiful DNA copying you should study here. Okay, so this brings more variation in an individual. To attain genetic stability, the sexual reproducing organism should produce germs. So ಅವ್ರು ಏನೈತಲ್ಲಿ germ cells ಏನೈತಿ produce ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. Having only half of the chromosomes and half the amount of DNA as compared to non-reproductive body cells. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅರ್ಧ ಅವ್ರು ಕೊಡಬೇಕು, ಅರ್ಧ ಇವ್ರು ಕೊಡಬೇಕು, ಆದಾ ದೋನೋ ಮಿಲಾದೆ. ಸೊ ಹಾಡ್ ಐತಲ್ರಿ, ಸೊ ಅರ್ಧ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಏನೈತಲ್ರಿ ಇಬ್ರು ಫುಲ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ that one you should know here. Okay, so as soon as I finish I'll start with Kannada class. Sorry, which one? Chemistry class here. Next, this is achieved by a process of cell division called meiosis. ಬಾಳ್ ಸಲ ಬಂದಂತ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಇದು meiosis. Thus, when these germ cells from two individuals combine during sexual reproduction to form a new individual, it results in re-establishment of number of chromosomes and DNA content in the new organism. So that one you should know. Okay, now coming to the next one, nature of gametes. If the zygote is to grow and develop into organism which has highly specialized tissues and organs, then it has to have sufficient stores of energy for doing this. One germ cell is large and contains food stores while the other is smaller and likely to be motile. Conventionally, the motile germ cell is called male and the germ cell containing stored food is called female. This one you should know. And flowering plants ಅಲ್ಲಿ reproduction ಹ್ಯಾಂಗ್ ಆಗ್ತೈತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಬರಿಬೇಕು. Okay, then reproduction in the flowering plants. So you know the reproductive parts of the angiosperms are located in the flower. So stamen and pistil are reproductive parts. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ stigma is a female, ovary is a female. The yellow color what you see are the male reproductive organs here. Okay, so that is how you should read. Then the flower may be unisexual, which contains only either stamen or pistil. Example, papaya and watermelon are unisexual flowers, whereas bisexual flowers are those which contains both stamen and pistil. Okay, yes, hibiscus and mustard. So you can see what hibiscus and mustard. Next, you can see stamen is the male reproductive part and it produces pollen grains that are yellowish in color. Pistil is present in the center of flower and is the female reproductive part and it is made up of three parts. The solemn bottom part is called ovary, a middle elongated part is called style and the other part, sticky part is called stigma. The male germ cell produced by pollen grain fuses with the female gamete present in the ovule. The fusion of germ cells or fertilization gives us a zygote. So the fusion of male gamete ಮತ್ತು female gamete ಏನದಾವಲ್ರಿ ಇಬ್ರು meet ಆಗಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತೈತೆ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ, they will give rise to the new plant. The pollen needs to be transferred from stamen to stigma. If the transfer of pollen from stamen to stigma in the same flower, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, in the same flower this yellow color pollen grain are flowing, it is called as self pollination. If the transfer of pollen from stamen to stigma, it is happening between the two flowers of same species, we call cross pollination. And ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕಂತ ತಂತಾನ ಆಗಂಗಿಲ್ಲ, ವಿ ನೀಡ್ ಪಾಲಿನೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಏಜೆಂಟ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾಲಿನೇಷನ್ ಏಜೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಏನೈತಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ ಬೇಕೇ ಬೇಕು. Okay, then the transfer of pollen from one flower to another is achieved by agents like wind, water, or animals. After the pollen, so ಈ pollen ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಆಯ್ತು, this figure is fixed. ಬರ್ಕೊಂಬಿಡಿ, ಈ ಫಿಗರ್ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಮಾಡಲೇಬೇಕು. This figure is fixed, everyone should do this perfectly and thoroughly. ಈ ಫಿಗರ್ ಏನೈತಲ್ಲ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ, ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಈ ಫಿಗರ್ ಅನ್ನ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಫಿಗರ್, ಓಕೆ, ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಫಿಗರ್ ಇದು. ಸೊ ಈ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು ಫಿಗರ್, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡಿ. ಸೊ when pollen grain falls here, it will enter into the ovary and it will fuse there. See the pollen, the transfer of pollen from one flower to another. After pollen lands on a suitable stigma, it has to reach to female germ cell which are in ovary. For this, the tube grows out of the pollen grain and travels through the style to reach the ovary. Ad style jothe reach agi ovary reach agle ಬೇಕು. Okay, after fertilization, okay, DR, RX, SDR, after fertilization the zygote divides several times to form embryo within the ovule. Then the ovule develops a thick coat and gradually converted into seed. The ovary grows rapidly and ripens to fruit. This is very important. Meanwhile, the petals, sepals, stamen, style, stigma, they will stabilize and they will fall off. The seed contains future. This one also you should know. In seed aitalri, this is a future. Nana tidkoli, plumule is a future shoot. This radical is a future root. How to remember? R for radical, R for root. Fix question. Objectively bhal sala bandanta prashne idu. Everyone should know this process. And the seed contains future plant or embryo which develops into seedling under appropriate condition. This is known as what? Germination. Then reproduction in human beings. Now fast we have come to the most important part, that is reproduction in humans. So humans ಅಲ್ಲಿ reproduction ಹ್ಯಾಂಗ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ so fast ಆಗಿ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ನೋಡ್ಬಿಡೋಣ. See, it needs sexual maturation, which is a period of life where production of germ cells, ಫಿಮೇಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಓವಾ ಆಯ್ತು, ಮೇಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ ಆಯ್ತು, ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಬಾಡಿ. ದಿಸ್ ಪೀರಿಯಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೆಕ್ಷುವಲ್ ಮ್ಯಾಚುರೇಷನ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ puberty. So you should know what is puberty here. The puberty is a part of sexual maturation in the body. Okay, that one you should know. Next, in early teenage years, a whole set of new changes occurs. So some of the changes are common in both boys and girls. Ibru boys ಮತ್ತು girl ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗುವಂತಹ ಸೇಮ್ ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ನೋಡಬೇಕು. So tell me what are the changes? First, the thick hair growth in armpits and genital area. Skin becomes oily, may results in pimple. Then girls ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೇ ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾವ ನೋಡ್ರಿ. So breast size begin to increase, girls begin to menstruate. In boys, thick hair grow on face in the form of beard and mustache. Voice begin to crack and production of sperms ಏನಾಗ್ತೈತಿ ಚಾಲು ಆಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತೈತಿ. Similarly, MRS, that is male reproductive system. So figure ನೆನಪಿಡ್ಕೋದು ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ parts ನೆನಪಿಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು and all the parts and their functions are much important. See here, a pair testes ಒಳಗ pair of testes are located inside scrotum. Scrotum is a skin pouch where testes are located outside the abdominal cavity, because sperm formation requires lower temperature than the normal body temperature. The formation of germ cells or sperms takes place in testes. Testes release which hormone? Male sex hormone. We call it as what? Which regulates the production of sperm. Then there is a vas deferens. The sperms produced are delivered through the vas deferens, which unites with the urethra, which is a common passage for both sperm and urine. It is a fixed question. Nenapidukori urethra is a common passage for both sperm and urine. This question has come many a times. Ella nenapidukori. The common passage for both sperm and urine is urethra. Associated glands, seminal vesicles and prostate gland are associated gland which add the secretion to the sperms. This provide nourishment. So ಊಟ ವಸತಿ ಕೊಡೋದು sperms ಗೆ ಯಾರು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ? We should thank to seminal vesicles and make their transport easier. Then female reproductive system, see it consists of ovary. Ovary ಒಳಗೆ ಏನದಾವಲ್ರಿ? A pair of ovaries is located. So you can see here oviduct, and this oviduct is very important because it is also called fallopian tube. It is called as site of fertilization. Nenapidkobeku, you should able to recall this, which is a site of fertilization. It is oviduct or fallopian tube only. So with where the sperm should travel and the fertilization should happen. Then germ cells, eggs are produced here. Ovaries release female sex hormone, that is estrogen, which regulates the production of eggs and menstrual cycle. This oviduct that receives the egg produced by ovary and transfers it to uterus. Fertilization is what? Fusion of gametes takes place here. Then this is uterus. So you can see this brown color. It is a uterus that will become the place. 9 months ಏನಾಯ್ತಲ್ರಿ ಬೇಬಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಆಗಿ ಗ್ರೋ ಆಗ್ತೈತಿ. See, it is a bag-like structure where development of fetus takes place. The sperm enter through vaginal passage during sexual intercourse. They travel upwards and reach the oviduct. ಇಲ್ಲಿ sperm ಏನ್ ಬರ್ತೈತಲ್ರಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಟ್ರಾವೆಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತನ ರೀಚ್ ಆಗ್ಲೇ ಬೇಕು. and they may encounter with the egg. ಒಂದ್ಸಲ egg ಜೊತೆ ಮೀಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ರಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತೈತಿ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ? ಗುಡ್ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡ್ತೈತಿ. So that is how you should know. Yes, Chetana, Ramesh, okay, yes, love from Hubballi, dear, yes, love from Hubli, yes. Next you can see the fertilized egg zygote starts dividing and form a ball of cells or embryo. The embryo is implanted in the lining of uterus where they continue to grow and develop organs to become fetus. Illen grow agi or fetus agi enaithalri develop ಆಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ. Yes. Yeah, Topin Katti, yes, Devendra Kumbhar, love from Topin Katti, excellent dear. Next, physics, already I have done here, so hogi nodkori. Bro, tomorrow Eid Mubarak, okay, so Eid Mubarak everyone, finally. So placenta, again you know it, placenta is a special tissue. After pregnancy only it will be developed. Sir, how many children have you? I have only one child here, so a baby boy, okay. So I have only one child, so you are curious to know. Thank you. See, the embryo gets attached to the uterus with the help of special tissue called placenta. This is a disc which is embedded in the uterine wall. It contains villi on the embryo sites of tissue. It provides nourishment to the fetus. So fetus ಗೆ ಊಟ ವಸತಿ ಕೊಡುವ ಕಾರ್ಯವನ್ನು ಇವರು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. The waste generated by developing embryo is removed by this structure. The development of child inside the mother's body takes place approximately 9 months. The child is born as with the results of rhythmic contraction of muscles in the uterus. Then mensuration, fixed question, ಬರ್ಕೊಂಬಿಡಿ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ. Fixed question, what is mensuration? ಇದು ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ, so everyone should know. Fixed question is mensuration. So this is a fix. ಎಲ್ಲ ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು, ಇದು fixed question, exam ಗೆ ಬರುವಂತದ್ದು fix. Okay, so what is mensuration? How does mensuration occur? 5 marks sub questions ಬರ್ತಾವು. Okay, so you all are connecting. Next question you can see now. See, the ovary releases one egg every month. The uterus also prepares itself every month to receive fertilized egg. Thus its lining becomes thick and spongy. This should be required for nourishing the embryo if fertilization had taken place. If the egg is not fertilized, sperm and egg meet age illa, then this lining is not needed any longer. So the lining slowly breaks and comes out through the vagina as a blood and mucus. This cycle takes roughly every month or ಪ್ರತಿ ತಿಂಗಳ ಆಗ್ತೈತಿ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ, we call it as menstruation. It usually lasts for 2 to 8 days. Then STDs you should by heart. So bacteria ಮತ್ತು viral ಏನೈತಲ್ರಿ you should remember. See here Chetna about college. See dear, we are having our own UDAAN PU Science and Commerce College, Oxford College campus, Kusuval Road, Keshapur, Hubballi. I request everyone to kindly register for this UDAAN scholarship test in order to avail the scholarship benefit. It is on the 5th of April 2026. So you can just call, message WhatsApp onto our number 8123426450. Okay, and for your juniors, we will be starting up with summer vacation camp for 2 months. The entire syllabus will be covered, and we will be providing all set of books. Residential program will be having. Just inform to your juniors regarding this. Okay, so now coming back to the yes. See, sexually transmitted diseases are those diseases which will unsafe sexual contact. When somebody has the unsafe sexual contact from the infected person to the healthy person. Bacterial ನೆನಪಿಡ್ಕೋರಿ gonorrhea ಮತ್ತು syphilis, viral ನೆನಪಿಡ್ಕೋರಿ warts, HIV ಮತ್ತು AIDS. Then birth control methods. So birth control hang ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನೇನು ಮೆಥಡ್ಸ್ ಗಳು ಅದಾವ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನಾವು ನೋಡೋಣ. See, there are different methods which are developed to prevent and control pregnancy, such as mechanical methods, chemical methods ಮತ್ತು oral pills ಮತ್ತು surgical methods. See, barrier method ಅಲ್ಲಿ to prevent union of egg ಮತ್ತು sperm meet ಆಗಬಾರ್ದು, use of condoms, cervical caps ಮತ್ತು diaphragm. Then chemical methods are use of oral pills togotare. Then this changes the hormonal balance of the body, so the eggs are not released, may have side effects. Then intrauterine contraceptive device IUCD, copper T or loop is placed in the uterus to prevent pregnancy. Surgical method. In males, we are having the vas deferens is blocked to prevent sperm transfer and process is called vasectomy. In females, fallopian tube is blocked to prevent egg transfer and process is called tubectomy. So this vasectomy and tubectomy you should be knowing. Now coming to the next chapter called heredity. Heredity is what? Very simple chapter. Now the chapter only monohybrid ಮತ್ತು dihybrid cross ಅನ್ನು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ನೆನಪಿಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. So fixed question again it is. So fast ಆಗಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ನೋಡ್ಕೋರಿ. See, variation arises usually during the process of reproduction. Then organisms don't produce asexually have few variations. Organisms those produce sexually have more variation. Variation promoting the survival of species in the following ways. Variation improves the survival rate of species. It helps the individual organism to adapt accordingly with the environment. So we are having two types of traits. One is acquired trait and one is inherited traits. Inherited traits are those which will transfer from generation to generation. Okay, then the traits that are inherited from parent to their children or offspring are called inherited trait. Example, hair, color of skin, color of eye, color of hair. So it is not 100% and ಆಗ್ತೈತಿ, ಆಗಬಹುದು ಸಾಧ್ಯತೆಗಳು. So this one you should know. So a child bears all basic features of human beings. However, it does not look exactly like its parents, and human population show great deal of variation. Both the father and mother contribute practically both ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಹೇಳಿ 50-50 ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ equal amounts of genetic material. This means that each trait can be influenced by both paternal and maternal DNA. Thus, for each trait there will be two versions in each child. So free earlobes and attached earlobes, straight hair ಮತ್ತು curly hair, anything the genes from mother or father. Mendel used a number of contrasting characters, so you can see here, and Mendel conducted series of experiments in which he crossed the pollinated plants to study one character at a time. Mendel conducted a series of experiments in which he crossed the pollinated plants to study one character. So monohybrid cross. So fixed question. See, monohybrid cross is a cross between two pea plants with one pair of contrasting characters. So cross between tall and dwarf pea plant. See, directly you see here tall pea plant capital T and short pea plant small t. So after cross pollination capital T is dominant. Chetana is asking, sir, have lunch? Definitely, dear. After finishing this, almost in 10 minutes, I'll be finishing up now. No issues. Now, after self-pollinating capital T, small t, you can see in the form of checkerboard, you will get 3 tall and 1 dwarf. Phenotypic ratio is 3:1 and 1:2:1. It is genotypic ratio. Now, see, both TT and TT are tall, while only TT is a short plant. In other words, a single copy of T is enough to make a plant tall. While both the copies small t, here you should write that capital T are dominant traits, whereas while those which behave like small t are recessive traits. Okay, you can see another here same pink flower. You can just go through this one. You can able to do this same thing with the help of pink and white flower. Then dihybrid cross ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಸರು ಹೇಳ್ತೈತಿ ಡೈ, that means two different characters ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೈತಿ ನಮ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾವು. See, dihybrid cross is a cross between two pea plants with two pairs of contrasting characters. Cross between a plant bearing round yellow color seed with plant bearing wrinkled green color. So this one you should be knowing. So you can see here the ratio is 9:3:3:1, and this is the checkerboard you should able to draw. See, capital R small. First you should take what? Both are capital R, small r, y. After in F1 generation you will get capital R, capital Y, small y. After cell pollination you will get this total 16, in which 9:3:3:1 you should remember. Then expression of trait. Then cellular DNA is the information source for making protein in cell. A section of DNA that provides information from one protein is called gene for that protein. Okay, you can just see here. Then how do germ cells make a single set of gene? Already I have explained. So you can just go through. Sex determination, again a fixed question. So ellaru sex determination enaiti odlebeku. It is much important. Okay, see, Aditya Guntapur, my son name is Ridhan, dear. Ridhan, Hridhan. So my son name is Ridhan. See, the process by which Ridhan, Rudaya plus Dhan, we made it as what? Ridhan and Naville ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀವಿ. Okay, sir, what is yes, I just point wise science ಅಲ್ಲಿ point wise ಬರೆದು ನಡೀತಿದೆಯಾ, you will be getting the marks. No issues related to that one. Now, see, the process by which sex of the newborn child is determined is called sex determination. Different species use very different strategies for sex determination. For example, you can see now how to the sex determination occur. In few reptiles, temperature will determine whether the animal developing in the eggs will be male or female. In snails, individual can change sex, indicating sex is not genetically determined. In human beings, the sex of individual is largely genetically determined. Then sex determination in human beings. In human beings, there are total 23 pairs. Human being ali total 23 pairs of chromosome. Out of 22 are autosomes, and the last pair of chromosomes which helps in deciding sex of the individual is called sex chromosome. So like this, I think everyone have known this. So just nanapidkori, if an egg is fertilized by sperm with X chromosome, results will be girl child. If the egg is fertilized by sperm carrying Y chromosome, results will be boy child barbekille. Okay, so it is mentioned wrong. Boy child bartiti. Yes. So like this you should know, this chart you should draw. See, father is having XY, mother is having XX. So this X female child, first and second female, 50% probability of female child. Similarly, XY and YX you can see male, 50% probability of male child. Sex determination and checkerboard fixed question here. Mono habit cross ಮತ್ತು di habit ಓದ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೇಬೇಕು. Now coming to the 13th last chapter, that is our environment. And in our environment only one question for 3 mark, adu sub questions ಬರ್ತಾವು. ಮೊನ್ನೆ exam ಅಲ್ಲಿ what is biomagnification question ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿತ್ತು. So similar question you can expect here. See, ecosystem and food chain related adavu. Everything that surrounds us is environment. It includes both living biotic and non-living abiotic component. Interaction between this biotic and abiotic component forms and what? Ecosystem. Then there are two types: natural ecosystem, that is nature made, example forest, lakes and ocean. Artificial ecosystem is the man made ecosystem we will call. So that is artificial ecosystem. Okay, so just read preparatory for biology. How do their maximum questions will come from that only, you should able to read this. Then the components of an ecosystem, you can just see this: biotic, producers, consumers, decomposers, and herbivorous, carnivorous, omnivorous and parasites. Producers, they include green plants and algae. They contain chlorophyll pigment which helps them to carry out the process of photosynthesis in presence of light. Thus they are called as converters or transducers. Consumers are those organisms which depends on food. So consume directly or indirectly. So ಅವ್ರು ಏನಾಗಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ, ಹೆಸರ ಐತಿ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತಾರೆ. So they are dependers or consumers. Herbivorous ಆಯ್ತು, carnivorous ಆಯ್ತು, omnivorous and parasites. Decomposers means they break down the complex inorganic substances into complex organic substances into simple inorganic substances. Okay, Glanza, Shirur, what is that? Gazlan, Shirur, yes dear, Renuka, yes, itu heli. Please send me a smile emoji. Okay, very good dear. Emoji beka. Okay. Next, decomposers are those microorganisms that obtain energy from chemical breakdown of dead organisms or animals or plant waste. Decomposers, this is the fixed question. See, decomposers break down the complex organic substances into simple inorganic substance that go into the soil and are used up again by the plants. They help in replenishment of natural resources. Then food chain fixed question. See, food chain is what? Sequence of organisms through which food energy flows in an ecosystem. So you can just see grass is a producer. So grasshopper, herbivorous, then frog, carnivorous, snake to the eagle. Similarly, forest ecosystem ali grass, deer and tiger. Adhe riti pond ecosystem, phytoplankton, zooplankton, larvae, small fish and large fish. Trophic level. So these are the various steps in the food chain. We call it as what? Trophic levels. Trophic levels are various steps or levels in the food chain where transfer of food or energy takes place. Producers are first trophic level, herbivorous are second, carnivorous or just the secondary consumers are third trophic level, and last carnivorous or tertiary consumers are fourth. So this is food web, yaarige tintare, so that one we call it as food web. Okay, see, food web is a network of various food chains which are interconnected at various trophic level. Since an organism can occupy position in more than one food chain in that food web, it occupies more than one trophic level. It represents the feeding relationship within the community. Then energy flow, for this you should remember what? Flow of energy, it is always unidirectional, that one you should know. See, the flow of energy through different steps in the food chain is unidirectional. This means that energy that is captured by autotrophs enaitalla, it will not be given back again to the sunlight, and it will not come back to autotrophs. Same thing, it is always the energy will get diminished. See, the number of steps is limited to 4 or 5 in a food chain for transfer of energy, because very less amount of energy is available to the last trophic level. ದೆನ್ 10% ಲಾ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ 10% ಲಾ ಅನ್ನು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಓದಲೇಬೇಕು. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್. ಸಿ yes, see, it states that only 10% of food energy is transferred from one trophic level to next trophic. The remaining 90% of energy is used in life process by the present trophic level. Due to this gradual decrease in energy, food chain contains only 2 to 3 or 3 to 4 trophic level. ಮೊನ್ನೆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಂತ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ, ಬಟ್ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಬಯೋಲಾಜಿಕಲ್ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್? ಸಿ, ಬಯೋಲಾಜಿಕಲ್ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ? ಸೊ ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಹಾರ್ಮ್ಫುಲ್ ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಬಾಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅಕ್ಯುಮುಲೇಟ್ ಆಗೋದು. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಹಾರ್ಮ್ಫುಲ್ ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಗೋಸ್ ಆನ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸಿಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ಎವ್ರಿ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಫುಡ್ ಚೈನ್. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಬಯೋಲಾಜಿಕಲ್ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್. or maximum concentration of chemicals ಅಂದ್ರೆ pesticides ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಬರ್ತಾವಲ್ರಿ, insecticides, all those comes under this one. See, maximum concentration of such chemicals is found to accumulate in human body as human occupy the top level in any food chain. And you can see now from sun you will get here 1 lakh energy, only 1000 will be there, again 100 will be available. So hanganga kadime akonta hogbidtೈತಿ. Okay, so then we will be having biodegradable and non-biodegradable substances, managing the garbage. So you know that there are two types of substances. One is biodegradable, the another is non-biodegradable substances. Biodegradable substances are those which are broken down the biological process. Example, fruits, vegetables, cotton, jute, cow dung. Non-biodegradable substances are those which are not broken down by this manner, that means not broken down by biodegradable substance. The example, plastic, polythene, metals. So they simply persist in our environment and they create what? Pollution. Methods of waste disposal: biodegradable and non-biodegradable substances should be discarded in different dustbins. So you this is a general knowledge. I think ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತೈತಿ waste ಅನ್ನ ಹ್ಯಾಂಗ ನಾವು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದು. ಓಝೋನ್ ಲೇಯರ್ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್. ಎಲ್ಲಾರು ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಓಝೋನ್ ಲೇಯರ್ ಮಾಡೇ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ. ಸಿ, ಓಝೋನ್ is O3 is a molecule formed by 3 atoms of oxygen. Ozone is a deadly poison. However, at higher levels of atmosphere, ozone performs an essential function. It shields the surface of Earth from UV radiation from the sun. Similarly, this radiation, the ultraviolet radiation, sun in the air bartavalde, those are very harmful and they create very nuisance to the environment. This radiation is highly damaging to organism. For example, it is known to cause skin cancer in human beings. If formation of ozone layer at higher trophic level, higher levels of the atmosphere is product of UV radiation acting on oxygen molecule. The higher UV energy radiation split apart some molecular oxygen in free oxygen atom. So O2, I think in presence of ultraviolet radiation it will become O and O. Again this O meets up with O2 to form O3. So this one you should know. Thus, the amount of ozone in the atmosphere began to drop sharply. This decrease has been linked to synthetic chemicals like CFCs, chlorofluorocarbon, which are used as refrigerant and in fire extinguisher ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವಿಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. Okay, so with this entire biology I have finished. If you found this session helpful, I request everyone to put the thumbs up in the comment section and let me know. Okay, again I will be coming up soon. I will be solving all 1 2 3 4 5 mark questions from physics. So ಎಲ್ಲ ನಾನು pending ಐತಿ, so we should be finishing up. Okay, Mohammad Nawaz, yes dear. Aditya, physics problem I will be coming up, don't worry. Naveen is there. Hi Naveen. Then sir, we can only read model paper preparatory. Definitely dear, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾಸ್ ಆಗ್ತೈತಿ, ಬಟ್ ಸ್ಕೋರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ನೂ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಎಫರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಹಾಕ್ಲೇಬೇಕು. ಓಕೆ, ನಿತೀಶ್ ರಾಜ್, ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಫಾರ್ ಥಮ್ಸ್ ಅಪ್ ಡಿಯರ್. ಹೋಮ್ ಗಾಡ್ಸ್ ಈಸ್ ದೇರ್, ಮಯಾಂಕ್ ಈಸ್ ದೇರ್. Okay, so yes, we can see Aditya Gomtapur, I got your point. Yes dear, definitely ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಅಂದಾಗಿ ಚಂದಾಗಿ ಓದಲೇಬೇಕು. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇಲ್ಲೇ ತನಕ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ವಿಡಿಯೋನ ಲೈಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ಮಾಡೋದನ್ನು ಮರಿಬೇಡಿ. ಇಲ್ಲೇ ತನಕ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ರಿ ಉಡಾನ್ ಸ್ಕಾಲರ್ಶಿಪ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ 5th of April ಎನ್ರೋಲ್ ಮಾಡಲೇಬೇಕು. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ make sure that inform your juniors related to the summer vacation camp. Okay, so Aditya Guntapur timing in the evening there after 6 I'll be coming because I have now offline classes. Physics numericals Vaishnavi I'll be doing up there na ellardu messages ನೋಡ್ತಿರ್ತೀನಿ. Yes, so home gods is there, Mr. Samir Teju Reddy, yes, so yes, Nitish Raj Light, ವಿಚ್ ಒನ್ ಈಸ್ ಯುವರ್ ಪರ್ಸನಲ್ ಏನ್ರಿ ಅದು ಕ್ಯೂಟಿ ಪೈ ಏನ್ರಿ ಏನೇನ್ರ ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ಮಾಡಾಕತ್ತಿರಲ್ರಿ. ಎಸ್, ಮೇಕ್ ಶೋರ್ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ವೆಲ್, ಎಲ್ಲಾನು ಇನ್ನು ಟೈಮ್ ಐತಿ, ಪಟಾಪಟ ಓದ್ಕೋರಿ. ಓಕೆ, 66 ಇನ್ ಮ್ಯಾಥ್ಸ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ, ಸೈನ್ಸ್ 100 ಆಫ್ 100 ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ, 100 ಆಫ್ 100 ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಈಸಿ ಡಿಯರ್. ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲಾರು ಚಂದಾಗಿ ಓದ್ಕೊಂಡಿರಿ. ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ದೇರ್. ಟೇಕ್ ಮೈ ನೇಮ್ ಇಮಾಮ್ ಹುಸೇನ್, ಹೆಲೋ ಡಿಯರ್. ನಿತೀಶ್ ರಾಜ್, then Gazlan, Shurur, Mayank, yes dear.